And we're live.
Hey,
What's going on, guys? Chris Swenson is still alive. Don't
Still
worry,
alive.
no hurricane is taking him out yet, taking him out to Never Land or anything like that. So we're good.
right?
Yeah. And I
Unless I'm
appreciate.
wrong.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's doing good over there. And what's up, everybody? What's going on? Everybody there? Everybody awake? What's up? Oh, who shouted out to me? You shouted out to me? Good. What's going on, Landon? And also, I saw some people in the when they're waiting for the chat to start. Yeah, this is not going to be as crazy as yesterday. Okay, I know yesterday was like a lot of people, but it was just because we're all hyped up and jazzed and everything like that. So I was just kind of sending the link out everywhere. Of course, it's always the after party.
Right.
What's going on, Pedro? What's going on, Matt? What's going on,
Plus,
Mark?
we were following Zack Snyder,
Exactly.
so
We were
everybody
all
wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, we're all on a high, so I just was like inviting
Yeah.
everybody I could in. But this time will be a little bit more contained and everything, so don't worry. I mean, we just give you quality content. What are you talking about? Why? Jeez, that's all it was. What's going on, Rosemary, Nate? Yeah.
Well, I've always wanted to see what 10 people on a stream looks
Dude,
like. Now we
that
know.
that was it. That was definitely
Now
it.
we know.
We hit it yesterday, and then of course I overlapped and I went into the Real Emotion time slot. And it's funny too because you left to go over there.
I know.
I thought you were
was
leaving
like,
for dinner. I thought you were leaving for dinner or something.
I went to take care of the kids, and then it was like 30 minutes later from when Ben told me to come on. So I was like, oh, I'm late.
Yeah.
And I came on, they didn't even start. So I was joking. I was like, you know, the optics is this gonna be like I left Dave's chat and went straight to here.
that was hilarious because I was totally like, oh shit. And then like Nicotina was like, hey, you gonna like invite the other guys in? And I was like, oops, I totally just lost track of time. Yes, we're definitely gonna be a little bit more organized this time. We won't overlap, but we had a good time over at the Real Motion podcast last night.
Yeah,
a lot of laughs, a lot of grilling, and a lot of Garza talking shit, which we love Garza. I know he was talking shit before I showed up. It's okay though.
Yeah, that's just being Garza.
Garza's
Garza. We just accept what kind of person he is.
Yeah, Cheating Wong. That's right. You're now called Cheating Wong.
Yeah, I'm Cheating Wong.
Wong cheats no one. There you go. But anyways, guys, so Justice Con just wrapped up. The ladies did their final word, and good job again. Meg and Nana and Cole, good job for pulling it off. Obviously, yeah. Cheers to you guys. Chris is drinking today because hey, you never know, he might get blown away in this.
You better
screw it. Order yourself a pineapple pizza.
If this is my last drink, I better be an old-fashioned Manhattan.
Ooh, nice, classy. I like it. But yeah, they just wrapped it up. Of course, yesterday was the crazy day, the crazy busy day, the crazy view day. I mean, I still can't believe those numbers. And I'm telling you what, I still want to see the numbers compared to Comic-Con at home. I know that at least like the Ray Fisher, the Jay Oliva, and the Zack Snyder panels totally blew those out of the water, blew some of those out of the water. But I got to recap. I know like some panels happened. I've been seeing stuff about Keanu Reeves. I guess they had a Constantine reunion, and they had a Bill and Ted 3. Kevin Smith hosted a panel. I'm gonna definitely check that out, but I don't really see much else. It's not much else that I was actually.
I mean, I haven't been paying attention too much, and articles going out. It was all about Justice Con.
Yes, that's
what it was all about. Variety, Hollywood Reporter. That's
awesome.
Amazing. That's the power of Zack Snyder, right there.
Power of Zack Snyder, man. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to catch up on some of that later. But yeah, today when it came to the panels today, it started off with Fabian Wagner, which I almost missed. I was a little late getting up, probably because of this guy right here. That didn't help me. I kind of woke up a little foggy this morning, and then I was like, I stumbled out, and I was like, oh shit, the panel's already on. So we had Fabian Wagner, and then after that who was after that? Oh yeah, Clay
Eno. Yeah.
What's his wife's name?
Christine Cabanban.
That's what it is. Something very zen and very soothing. Listening to Clay Eno's talk, even both of them, just the way that they speak highly of each other and their passion for like photography and whatever. What is she does like stuff with jewelry,
art, right? Yeah,
stuff like that. Yeah. So just to hear them talk about, especially Clay Eno's when he's talking about. Wow, it sounds like you have like a full house over there.
Is it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Must be. They're playing Fortnite.
Oh, is that what it is? It's all good. But yeah, so it was nice to hear them. And then right after that was the Amazonian live stream when it came to Deborah Snyder. That was a good one. And Cat's Cat made a cameo big time on that one.
Oh yeah.
It was kind of like, man, that cat really wanted to be on camera, really wanted her attention.
Yeah.
But it was that was a good one too. And then right after that was God, I'm like losing my train of thought already. What was right? Oh yeah, you guys.
Yeah, there's a diversity panel. Yeah. I woke up for that.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at the time. I'm like, oh wait, it's still 3 hours behind. Holy shit.
Yeah, 7:30 a.m. So
you got up right in time for that. So how did you did you enjoy yourself on that panel?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked what the topics that we brought up, and then so like at first, like anytime I see Shiraz, I'm like, Shiraz, you lead, man. He's like the pro here, right? So really who goes first? Well, Shiraz, just go first, take it away.
Yeah,
but it was good. I think it was one of the more positive ones. I think people said not too many people trolling on that chat for that one. So
good. I mean, there's always going to be that. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, you know, I know some people, like even Shiraz brought it up, like, you know, when he wrote that that Superman's the ultimate like immigrant story. I know there's people that, I look at it like this, which is like, that's fine. That's what the beauty part about these characters are, specifically Superman. Some people are like, oh, I don't see him as that. I see him as like a Jesus figure, which I think, you know, Snyder kind of covered that very much with the symbology with that.
Yeah.
But I mean, look what Shiraz said. I mean, Snyder.
There's just so many ways to look at it, and they're all correct.
The beauty part, and they're all correct. You don't have to shit on one, and you know, whatever you want to look at it, like, you know, if you want to look at it like this or like that, or you know, or look at him like, oh, he's just like some flying, you know, bozo, like Lex Luthor looks at him. You know, so yeah.
I'm a terrible co-host, by the way, because I did not watch the other panels. Was there something like I know I've caught like bits and pieces because obviously I was like trying to prepare for the hurricane, but like Deb was talking about another director or something, or a movie they're working on.
Like, well, okay, cool. I mean, I like I said, when it came to Fabian Wagner, I missed a little bit, but I think like the main takeaway was, well, he didn't talk much about. I mean, I guess he did. See, that's the thing. I missed a little bit.
Did he? Yeah.
But he talked about the history lesson, which was an interesting part. It's talking about like how. You know, we always compare the history lesson for Justice League to like a Lord of the Rings or whatever the hell. But he was like, it's probably more compared to 300 than anything than Lord of the Rings. I guess that's what he said. And then when it came to the length of it, he said it's a long sequence. So I mean, I think we've talked about it many times on the vodka stream. Like if it does in fact go to that, which I pretty much we think it is going to go to a series type of deal when it comes to HBO Max, there's going to be a whole episode just specifically based on the history lesson, and that's pretty awesome right there. And I can't wait. Awesome. Yeah, that's gonna be pretty damn good. So he was mentioning stuff like that, and you know, I just feel bad. I think Garza is really gonna Real Motion when they're on after us. They're gonna cover that a lot because I know Garza was really loving what Fabian. A lot of stuff that Fabian said, so we'll leave that up to him. We'll leave the gushing up to Garza, and hopefully you guys.
Game of Thrones. That's my Game of Thrones.
They're talking about like Game of Thrones, stuff like that. So like I said, I was a little. I missed a little bit of the Fabian Wagner, and I was a little fuzzy too. I had to like go. I literally had to go because I didn't have any aspirin. I didn't prepare myself, so I had to go to the Shell station right around the corner, and then I just got a coffee too. Nice big old 20-ounce freaking coffee of like their special wake up blend where I was like, ugh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you know what? Never do this, folks. Never do this. Never like when you have to like take some aspirin, never use a freshly poured cup of coffee because my tongue still hurts. I burned. I literally like in my car, I went, oh, I just like spit it out because it was so fucking hot. Yeah, that was dumb. I was very, very fuzzy this morning. Very, very fuzzy. So that's why I missed, you know, a majority of that Fabian Wagner stuff. But yeah, we'll let Garza and Everts cover that stuff because for sure they're gonna love that. But yeah, Deborah did. She talked a lot about, of course, you know, the questions mainly had to do with like women in the industry and the, you know, diversity and stuff like that, which, you know, all sounded great. And then even like when she talked about how, you know, Snyder, you know, obviously they're both named Snyder. Debbie and, you know, Zach working together. And she, you know, talked a lot about that because, I mean, I mean, let's face it. Would you? You know, a lot of people will probably say I would never want to work with my husband or wife.
Yeah.
And they're
And the wife is always the boss.
Yes, exactly. But I remember she mentioned like, you know, when it comes to making a movie, sometimes they're in like two different spots. Like, maybe at the end of the day, they kind of just, you know, they come together. And of course, when it comes to decisions, they have to go back and forth with each other. But for most of the time, no, she mentioned like they're in like different spots. Like he's on set handling this. She might be off somewhere handling something else or at a different, you know, it's, you know, they're not always.
I was wondering, like, when he's talking, she's not too far behind. Like, she's probably at a side, like,
don't even mention it. Don't even mention it.
She's like his publicist or something.
Well, I mean, I always looked at it like, I remember somebody like a while ago posted a GIF, or maybe it was just a short video before Leonidas in 300 kicks that one guy into the hole. He looks at his queen to like get approval. I'm like, this is the relationship that's the relationship. Anytime that a decision's made, he's got to look at his queen, and then she goes, yep, and then he kicks whatever the fuck it is right into that hole and makes something beautiful out of it. So
you saw a little bit of that SnyderCon too, where he glances over at her and then she kind of like just nods or shakes her head or something. Exactly. So it's like, that's awesome.
It's a good little relationship. I mean, mainly he's like, he knows what he's doing, stuff like that. But sometimes you just gotta freaking, you know, sometimes if you don't know exactly, you gotta look to your queen. You gotta look to your queen, like I said. I mean, whatever the saying is, behind every man is a good woman, or even vice versa.
Right.
You know? That's the basis of a good couple right there. You got to support each other. Don't like, you know,
absolutely
got to do like
it's a good partnership. I mean, one is an artist and the other one is a business, and so it's like they so real, so they need to bounce it off each other. So it's
it's really good. And then a lot of people are mentioning, then it moved on to your guys' panel, which they said covered some great things. I'm glad, actually, and I think it was Janita. Did she bring it up? I think she brought up the Jon Stewart Green Lantern.
Yeah.
I know that was a topic of talking. I mean, after, you know, Shiraz was talking about the immigrant story and how the reception of that, and you know, I liked what he had to say. I mean, that, like you said, when Shiraz is on, just listen to what he had to say. He's a very intelligent, very, you know, he knows how to talk. He's been doing this for a while. He's very good at what he does. And then it was like brought up, you know, of course, the Ray Fisher stuff that he brought up yesterday. All great topics. But I just love the fact that Jon Stewart Green Lantern got brought up, because I think, he needs to be brought forward. I mean, I know we've been talking about Green Lantern, Hal Jordan, Ryan Reynolds. Yes, that's great. But man, let's get that what is it? It's not super, Lethal Weapon in space.
Lethal Weapon space. Yes.
Yes.
Because that 100%. I was like, all right, yes, you brought it up. I can bring my Funko Pop down and show the world. Now,
exactly. I mean, because
Jon Stewart. Yes.
Yeah. What's going on, Karan? Because I mean, as much as we love we love Hal Jordan, we love the fact that he is a daredevil. You know, he's that pilot that like pushes the boundaries, doesn't really give a shit, but he does have a little fear inside him still.
Right.
You know, and he's kind of a mess. He can be a little bit of a mess. When it comes to Jon Stewart, I mean, he was military man. You know, he's that kind of he's a soldier essentially. Right. So you know, it's a different dynamic, big time. So,
but it's a great dynamic. Why not both? Right?
Yes,
they can play off each other. One can mentor the other. That's some great story.
Well, that's what I would want to see. I mean, just imagine like Ryan Reynolds, Hal Jordan, you know, with his snarky comments and the way that he is, to a Jon Stewart who is more straightforward. He's the soldier boy. I mean, it would just be a good dynamic. And I mean, I'm still pushing for the whole Ryan Reynolds thing. I want Ryan Reynolds to show up, come back as Green Lantern. But I mean, when it comes to Jon Stewart, like, I mean, there's so many choices. I know a lot of people always say Idris Elba, but I'm like, he's a little advanced age. I want somebody in their 30s, you know?
Right. He's kind of the kind of person like you just cast as a superhero. Him and Armie Hammer, they're kind of like, well, they're superhero prototypes.
Everybody always talks about them.
Yeah.
Everybody always talks about like they're always putting him in like, you know, everything. Oh, we need somebody, you know, a black actor. Idris Elba. It's like, you know, let's give somebody else a shot. He's already playing, I guess, you know, the vigilante in the Suicide Squad, right? But I think my choice for Jon Stewart would be Trevante Rhodes. He's one of my number one choices. And then of course John David Washington.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of too. I don't know who's a couple of your.
I was John David Washington.
Yeah.
And oh, my name's escaping me now. It starts with the O. He's in Army of the Dead right now.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm
I can't
like
remember his name too.
Omar, something I forget.
Something
Yeah,
like
but
that, yeah.
he'd be a pretty good one, and Trevante Rose is a good one. But John David Washington, I think, if only Tenet came out, then people were like, yeah,
really
John David Washington, because a lot of people, probably didn't watch Black Klansman, right?
No, probably
not. So it's not more mainstream. But with Tenet, and they'd be like, oh yeah, that would be a good one. So Omari Hardwick, thank you. Yes,
yeah. Thank you. You can always depend on the live chat. Anytime you're trying to figure out someone's name. Oops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know I'm terrible with names too. Trust me. Everybody knows. Everybody knows. But oh shit, I totally. Oh yeah, some people were saying Terry Crews. Terry Crews. And then somebody also said, Michael Jai White's also been a fan favorite. I haven't like that, but he is like in his 50s. I think if they're gonna do a Jon Stewart, he's definitely gonna be younger than Hal Jordan.
Right.
And I think someone said John Boyega. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah. I think I had him.
Tyrese. Get Tyrese out of here. Tyrese. No.
I remember when I put that poll out, and I had all those people told me, take down Tyrese and put this person instead.
It's his character in Fast and Furious that you know what, I've seen, like, Tyrese has been in other movies like Four Brothers and like I think a Baby Boy or something like that, where he actually has been a good, he's had a good performance. But now it's like the only things I remember him now is in the Fast and Furious movies, and all he does is fucking yell. It's like
yeah. And his personality outside of the movies doesn't seem that great either. Right?
Yeah, he had
some issues.
For a bit. Yeah, when the whole Dwayne Johnson and Vin Diesel feud was happening, and then all of a sudden like they announced Hobbs and Shaw, like. Fucking Tyrese had like a breakdown like on his social media, didn't he?
Yeah. I was wondering if that was for real or was that just hyping up the movie in a weird negative way? Or that's strange.
Oh yeah, and he was also in Transformers, and I don't know.
Oh, Ira.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that. But
that was not too bad. He was a little bit more subtle.
Yeah, he was a little more tame, which I guess. it's just I don't know. Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan's already in so many things. I'm always about even though Ryan Reynolds technically has been in both universes because Deadpool and if we want him back as Green Lantern, but I think I'd want like a more unknown person to play Jon Stewart. That's why I like Trevante Rhodes, because people know who he was, but they only really remember him from the guy from Moonlight, right?
Yeah.
But he was, he's been in other things, but he was in Bird Box. I don't know if anybody remembers that. He was in Bird Box.
Right.
Because I remember when I watched Bird Box.
I forgot about that too.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is that movie was so big for like 2 weeks. It was huge. Everybody was talking about it. And then all of a sudden everybody stopped talking about it.
Right.
I'm like,
I like that where you pretty much an unknown sort of. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the situation where Ben Affleck is Batman. He's the veteran actor. Yes. Ryan Reynolds is essentially a veteran actor at this point compared to like Henry Cavill and the other ones. So for him to mentor someone, even a younger actor, that makes sense. I don't know. It just makes a lot of sense to me.
No, it does. I mean, that's it would totally work. Like, just get somebody in there that could totally play off of Ryan Reynolds very well. Mm-hmm. And I think, I don't know. I just have a feeling, especially with the times, let's get another black superhero in there, Let's, I think, given the way Snyder is, I think he'd want something like that. I mean, if Reynolds is definitely going to come back, give him something, give him make it a duo, give him somebody to play off of. And, who knows where it's going to lead to or whatever the hell. Right. That's another thing I was actually going to talk about too. Before we bring in Justin. I know, Justin, you're waiting out there.
Is he waiting? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Nah, it's not. No, I wanted to, because this was supposed to be like, hey, Chris and Dave duo thing. I'll provide him in about 10 minutes because we got still like an hour and 40 minutes to fill. So that's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to fill the time. Okay, I'm not going to overlap. Garza Everts, I saw you out there in the chat. Don't worry. Not going to overlap you this time. I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. So, but what was mentioned, of course, when Sean O'Connell came on. I don't know if you saw that panel. Did you see that panel at all?
I only heard what people were putting on the timeline. Put on in terms of the one word, and I guess he read the lost chapter. I don't know.
Yes, and you were part of it.
I was part of it.
You were part of it. He name dropped you. Yes.
Oh wow! So I'm not gonna be in the book.
So you're not gonna be in the book. Release the Wong Swenson cut of the Snyder cut book. Yeah. He read the chapter, and he mentioned your quote. Talking about the Snyder event, and when basically Snyder said it existed in the whole 214 thing. So he mentioned you in the book. He also mentioned Will Rollins too, which we don't have to talk specifically everything about that guy, but So he talked about that. Yeah. So sadly, both of you are out of the book. Maybe you're going to be put somewhere else, hopefully. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. But hey, you were mentioned at least.
That's cool.
Yeah. See? So you were mentioned first. Then he went off and talked about that other guy. Anyways. But it was still good. I mean, but the word that he was talking about was, well, first off.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Matt. What do you want to see at the Zack Snyder Justice League trailer? Oh yeah, we kind of talked about that last night. What we wanted to see. Well, yesterday when I had 17 people on this goddamn thing, I think I kind of went through. Everybody just they want to just see new footage. I think specifically me, I want to see some more Batman kicking ass. I want to hear Ray Porter's Darkseid voice. So hopefully we get to that.
Right.
We don't have to see him.
Right.
But I want to hear him, Right. Do something like they did with maybe, Steppenwolf with Hans, hear a voiceover of him. And I do want to see the OG Steppenwolf, but I don't think there's going to be that much. I think we kind of discussed this on the Real Emotion. Real Emotion, where it was like, there's still a lot of work that has to be done, especially reverting back to the OG Steppenwolf. It's not as easy as some people just think it's easy.
Grace Randolph said that the trailer, she said, needs more rendering.
Yes.
So even she who saw it, he shared it with her. So
no shit.
He saw it. Yeah. So
what? Wow. Yeah. Garza, hit up your girl, man.
Yeah. That's why Garza probably saw it too.
Right? While they were laying in bed. No. No, if they cast Ryan Reynolds, he is going to play it dead serious. He's not going to take the role for it. Are you kidding me? Why would he play it serious? It's Ryan Reynolds.
He's not going to play. Yeah.
No,
it's a second shot.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to play it like he played the original Hal Jordan because, and he played it very well. There's a lot of good one-liners that he has in the Green Lantern movie. For one, Ryan Reynolds was not the problem with that movie at all.
There were serious moments in that movie too. So it's not like
he can play serious. He's a good actor. I know he mainly has that personality that some people go, it's just the same thing over and over again. But
watch Buried,
Oh Jesus Christ.
But
don't watch if you have a fear of claustrophobia. What is it? Claustrophobia? Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yeah, claustrophobia.
The Jameson's already kicking in. No, if you watch that, make sure you don't have that. If you don't like tight spaces, I was feeling uncomfortable watching that, at times where it's just, I was starting to go, But Tobias says, Grace confirmed to me in a DM the OG design Steppenwolf is in the full trailer for DC Fandom. Snyder showed her. So there you go. So she admitted that. So that's good. So we get to see that right there. So we'll definitely get to see OG Steppenwolf, which a lot of people were wondering and asking about and stuff. So that's what about anything else that you'd want to see in that trailer?
Well, I mentioned Black Suit Super, but we already got that. So no, but I want to see because we've been talking how it has to kind of in a way differentiate itself from the theatrical. Yeah. And how much farther OG Steppenwolf one, Darkseid, you said that's another one. Black Suit Superman's another one. But I'm wondering if we're going to see scenes from the other characters, maybe more Cyborg. Yeah, maybe more Cyborg, and we'll have it really emphasize that he's the heart of the movie. Maybe. Yeah,
and I want to bring up something too that when I was watching your panel, and you're talking about Ray Fisher, of course, his character story. Cyborg got really removed out of it, big time removed, where it almost seemed like he was just there just to be there. Yeah. We didn't get to see all the entire backstory.
Right.
and everything with his parents and everything. But I mean, let's not forget too. I mean, Ezra Miller and Barry Allen, same thing. I mean, a lot got removed from him as well. Like we did see him visit his dad in the prison, sure. But then after that, it was just kind of like, we didn't see the Iris West stuff. And we mustn't forget too that Barry saves the fucking entire group.
That's right.
Time. Yes.
Right.
So, I mean,
maybe there are points where he's like really trying to be faster or.
Yes. I mean, like in that final act, he was resorted back to just like saving that fucking Russian family, Yeah. He did other stuff too. But I mean, really, in Zack Snyder's version, he's going to save the entire league. So
I like that. Guess what's not in Zack Snyder's Justice League? The Russian family.
Exactly. No bug spray. No bug spray.
Okay?
No bug spray right there. So we don't have to worry about that. But I just, I mean, and I get it. The panel was mainly talking about like Ray Fisher, but I was like, we can't forget about Ezra Miller. I mean, like, more backstory from him, and then of course, him looking probably at Bruce as a mentor and everything, we kind of got a little bit of that, but it was mainly like brunch jokes and fucking, I don't know what else the hell, but so we can't forget about that too. But then so then the whole thing in it, we had Sean O'Connell, and his the special word that he talked about was Elseworlds, because technically the Snyderverse is like an Elseworlds. Right. We already kind of knew this, that it's going to totally be its own thing.
I mean, where we talk about multiverses forever.
We talked about multiverses forever. So, but I mean, it does kind of suck for O'Connell, because he even mentioned himself how when he interviewed Snyder, he can't really mention anything about what he said, and then he was told like, oh, he's not going to do any press. And then all of a sudden now Snyder's doing some press,
Oh yeah, that's right. So he always like, is it in the book? It's already.
So I mean, that's what he had to say. That's what he said. He goes, you know what? He goes, I'm okay with it. He's probably going to talk a lot about what's already in the book, but you'll find out next year. It's in the book. I mean, I'm sure we're all still going to get a copy of it and stuff. And
I'm gonna go.
And then of course he mentioned how Fisher brought up like, oh, he's going to have a second book. With all the stuff that I'm going to say about Mr. Whedon and everything. So I think what O'Connell sounded like he was game for like, okay, if I have to write another book, I'll write another book. So if that's going to be the case.
I mean, there's a lot to be told, even with Justin's own.
Yes.
Book,
right? I know. Yeah, we're going to bring him in right now. Right now too. And
we'll talk
about that little factoid, because I mean. I know. I shouldn't have said
Sam's
that.
in there.
Sam in here. Factoid Sam. Sorry, I didn't mean to say your nickname there, but I mean, when it comes to Justin's book, I mean, Justin's book is not like, I mean, remember, they're two separate entities. You got Sean O'Connell, which was about the fandom, and basically a biography, I guess you could say, about the fandom with quotes and everything like that. But when it comes to Justin's book, it's like it's based on true events. It's kind of based on the Snyder Cut, everything that happened with it, but it's wrapped up in a whole other story with different names and everything like that. So, but I'm just
not to make like Sean O'Connell's books not exciting, but I'm kind of excited for Justin's one, because the part I want to know more about is the drama behind the scenes of the production.
Yeah, exactly. Because like Justin, he knows a lot of that stuff too. He's worked with a lot of facets of everything. It's one of the things I like about Justin is like, he's always, I mean, I know some people like he'll bump heads with people on Twitter and stuff like that, but he's very much like, he loves to talk about, certain things when it comes to like individualism and stuff like that. So, speaking of the devil, Mr. Justin Midside, what's going on?
Hey,
shirt. Nice shirt.
Thanks for all the kind words, sirs. I appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we had to, because we knew you were coming on the show. We didn't want to talk shit.
Well, I appreciate that.
Florida hurricane buddies.
Oh yeah, is Florida getting hit too, or what? No.
I haven't heard anything about a hurricane.
Okay, I was about to say, I'm like,
I'm just saying, that's one of the states that always gets hit by hurricane is Florida.
Where are you?
Hawaii.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting one right now.
I'm California getting hit, but
yeah, that would suck. So what's up, man? How you doing?
I'm good. I've been a little more disconnected than a lot of people because I had a friend here this weekend, and
you mentioned that on the vodka stream,
Yeah. And I've been keeping tabs, and I've been watching panels here and there and stuff. I watched the Snyder panel. I've seen bits and pieces of other ones. I mean, I think you guys probably all know what I'm most excited about what came out. So
I can't. Well, what would that be? What would that be?
Zack Snyder basically directly referencing the Fountainhead and acting like Howard Rourke was probably one of my
dropping them F-bombs and just saying fucking this.
Great.
So that was would you say that was the highlight? Was that the highlight for you?
That's definitely the highlight for me because I've seen him as a very Rourkean figure. I've said that for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I've said that since before the Justice League stuff happened. I mean, I've been saying it forever. Mm-hmm. And to have him say that shows that one of the things I believe, and something Ayn Rand said, is that art is fuel for the soul. And it shows me that she had an impact, and that makes me feel good to know that people I think are good artists are influencing each other and helping them in their times of need. And that's what art should do. It should build you up like that. And that it gives him that strength is good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
100%. Yeah. I know, like when it came to everybody's favorite moments, I mean, everybody keeps on going back to like the Ray Fisher stuff, of course, just because he's just like, and that's what we were kind of talking about too when it came to Sean O'Connell's book. It's like, oh man, he's going to need like a second book to talk about the Ray Fisher stuff. How do you feel about, learning more about what happened behind the scenes and incorporating that with your book? Or maybe a sequel or something.
That would be more a sequel if I was going to do that because, I mean, I don't want to like spoil everything, but the point of the book is not what happened on Joss Whedon's set. That's not my book at all. It's everything before that.
Okay. See, there you go.
Right. Is it interesting? I think it's interesting. It's interesting on two levels because I don't think that this is unique. That part of it, I don't think is unique to Zack Snyder's Justice League. I've never been shy about my opinions about Hollywood. I think Hollywood's a pretty corrupt industry. I think they use the guise of what they're doing as being special to get away with a lot of things. I mean, you work on set, you can work 12, 13-hour days, and they pay you, a rate for the entire production. Yeah. On indie films, this is my experience, and they don't pay you overtime for the day. They just say, we're going to pay you X amount for the day, and we'll give you lunch.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
If you work in a factory, they'll go, we'll give you $150 for the day and lunch, but you got to, press bumpers for 12 hours. I don't know if you could get away with that. I think we have labor laws against that. And then we've seen what's happened with Me Too. So I think the Ray Fisher, Joss Whedon stuff is interesting from that angle, especially because I would love to see what else would come out about Whedon. I mean, we saw James Marsters say that thing about Whedon where his character got so popular that Whedon like yelled at him on set.
Yeah.
How corrupt do you have to be, logically and philosophically, that one of your characters gets popular, but it's not the one you wanted? So you blame the actor as if it's the actor's fault?
Yeah. No. Like it's not his fault. He's got popular. People just like him.
That's what you want. You kind of want that, especially, and then if that's happening, you want to like support that instead of get upset. I mean, like when I heard that story, it was just kind of like, I don't know if there was like jealousy involved or I don't know. Like, I mean, I know like when it came to Whedon, he didn't want to have like that kind of, the vampires are sexy and this, that, and this. I don't know if that was a reflection of because of how he felt about himself. I don't know.
I guess the way he handled it is weird because I get it because it could influence your artistic vision.
Yeah. But
at the same time, you don't push a person against the wall and yell at the person for just doing his job. He's just doing his job.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, and it's going to be interesting to see, like, I mean, because we've heard little rumors like, the way that he treated Gal and said, like, didn't he say something about, like, somebody said something like he was going to ruin her career or something like that?
Oh, LaBoy said that.
Yeah.
Jason LaBoy. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. You like locked her in a room or locked somebody in a room, right?
He pulled her into the locker room or something. And I mean, that's what I hear. Jason LaBoy hears a lot of things from the different actors. And crew members. He's there. He's to talk to a lot of people.
I mean, to have the balls to pull. I mean, she's not a small woman. Okay, let's not forget. I mean, Gal she's a tall woman, and if you like she was like kind of like forced her into a locker room instead, it was saying like, yelling at her for stuff. I mean, I'm curious just to hear everything. I mean, it sounds like Fisher really just is very confident that, hey, whatever I have, it's gonna fuck you up, man. You better be scared and go ahead and come after me because I ain't scared. So I'm very curious. I mean, and I've always said too is like when it comes to Joss Whedon, I mean, yeah, hopefully. I mean, he is royalty because let's face it, he gave us the first successful team up superhero movie when it comes to Avengers, and two, in Avengers: Age of Ultron, which is not as good, but still, both of them are like what in the $1 billion stratosphere or whatever,
right.
and, so he is royalty, and it seems like that comes with like some protections. That's why I'm just kind of wondering like what's going to happen. What's up?
It's not just that he's royalty for that. I mean, go back further. He helped revolutionize television storytelling. And a lot of people don't realize this. His father and his grandfather were both sitcom writers in the industry as well. So he's
I forgot that he comes from that family.
That's how he got his start, too. Yeah. So, I mean, that's where a lot of this is coming from.
Yeah. And there's like, what is the show? Firefly, right? Is it Firefly or was it? Yeah, Firefly. A lot of people. I mean, that's a cult classic nerdy. I mean, people talk about that series as well as Buffy. Right. I mean, I'm not gonna lie that I love the original Buffy the Vampire movie. I mean, it's ridiculously stupid. It's campy and it's so 90s, but I love that movie. I never got into the show though. It's weird. I never got into the show. It was like, but when it comes to that movie, Christy Swanson, and Luke Perry and everything. Oh man, I mean, that's just and a Pee Wee Herman, Paul Rubin. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Were you guys into the show at all?
No, not particularly. I mean, I've watched some episodes of Buffy and Angel, but that's not really into it. No, I didn't even watch Firefly actually. So
I never watched Firefly.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, the only real thing that I was remotely interested in was Avengers.
Yeah, I mean,
because that's superhero. It was a comic book. It's cape shit. So
exactly. Yeah. So, but anyway,
actually, Justin, I have a question for Justin.
Go for it.
In your book, are you gonna have any points of view from, like, I know it's dramatized, but like from a cast?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. So it's not just a director.
Correct. I prefer to write in the style third person limited. So what I like to do is almost like a television series where you have one scene from one character, one scene from another character's point of view, one scene from another character's point of view. And I picked a few people. I mean, I can tell you, I don't want to, you can figure out which actors it is, but I picked a couple. I picked a few actors on purpose because I thought of what they represented. Right. And I think it may be obvious why I picked one of them, even based on this conversation.
Okay.
It more sets up a lot of what you guys are talking about than goes into that, because I didn't necessarily want to deal with the whole, like I said, that part of the industry, because that's not the theme of the book, right?
Right.
It's definitely about corruption in the industry, but it's about the corruption in the industry on the creative side, which of course, these things are all linked, right? But when you're writing something, you have to pick one thing. You can't just put it all in there. So yeah, they're definitely individual characters. I don't want to say each of who explicitly, but when you read it, you'll be able to see who it is. But I picked there are 3 actors who I have the points of view from.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So within the fandom, we could probably guess who those characters, if we read it in a way.
I mean, if you don't guess, I'm going to be super disappointed.
Rewrite, yeah. We'll give them notes.
I mean, my friend just finished reading it, and she's going to be my proofreader. I'm paying her to proofread it, and she was like, she likes how the actors' names aren't the exact names, but they're close enough that you can figure out who it is.
Okay.
I mean, I'll give you one. Okay.
Okay.
I have a character in the book named Ross Keaton.
Ross Keaton. So Joss Whedon. Yeah.
I mean, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it. I like it. At first, I was like Keaton. I was thinking Batman. I'm like, no.
My head was there too, but then when you say it together, then you're like, okay.
Say it. I repeated it a couple times. I'm like,
okay.
Whedon, there you go. I like it. So yeah, when it comes to Justice Con, I mean, yeah, like I said, congrats to the girls for pulling that off. I mean, they did not think it was going to be that big. I don't think any. I kind of was like, okay, it's going to be somewhat big. You got Zack Snyder, you got you got Ray Porter, you got Ray Fisher. I mean, as soon as like the heavy hitters came in, I was like, okay, this thing's going to be pretty damn big. And I mean, like I said yesterday too, when they were on the stream, they organized it pretty perfectly. Like, it's like, okay, let's first start off with the Ink to the People, because they want. And by the way, links are down below for Ink to the People. That's what it's called, right? I don't even know,
yeah, Ink to the People for their shirts and stuff. Yeah,
for the shirts, I have that link, and they got the AFSP link that they provided. So I have that provided down below if you guys want to make a donation or go get yourself a shirt, a Justice Con shirt. But so they had him on first, and then they had the AFSP people, just to kind of just like to establish, like, hey, this is what it's for. This is what it's all about. And then all of a sudden, then they went to Ray Porter, which was great. Ray is always great. Like I said, he's just a funny dude. And I love listening to that guy and just listening to, even though he can't say much, but, just listening to him, when he talked about how it was revealed that he was Darkseid, and now he can actually say it. And then, I always love it too when it's like, okay, what was the audition process like? And he was just like, Zack Snyder called me. That was it. It's just to be called by the director and just being like, I want you, especially for a role like Darkseid. I mean, this is the Justice League's ultimate baddie. And I know a lot of people would want him to be, okay, well, like, what happens with the New Gods movie? Are they going to use Ray Porter? It's like, probably not. Most likely not. I mean, especially if that's like a Warner Brothers heavy movie that's not even it's going to have nothing to do with Zack Snyder's Justice League. So they're going to have a whole different Darkseid, and they're probably going to want to cast like a name, I mean, it's the same thing with like, when we first saw Thanos in the first Avengers, it was just some random dude.
Yeah.
Turned around.
That wasn't even Brolin yet, huh? Was it? Yeah.
No. And then they were like, okay, we got to get somebody. And they got Josh Brolin, and Josh Brolin absolutely knocked it out. I thought he was a fantastic Thanos. He was a fantastic villain. So when it comes to Ray Porter, I mean, and he's so modest, and he's just so he just loves the love that he's been getting from the movement and all the fans and everything. And I mean, if Zack Snyder wants him to do more, like, if we get more stuff, because I think there was a mention of possibly more stuff. There was some mention. What was that mention from? Was that also a Grace Randolph thing? Can't remember.
What do you mean, Debbie Snyder saying that they have,
or was it Grace? I thought I heard something about Grace was also tweeted something.
That there's maybe more.
There's going to be talk about more.
Yeah,
so,
I remember that.
I don't know. I think you've been worrying about a hurricane. I get it. So, but I think she said, Grace did say that, talking about more. So, I mean, it's sounding to me like HBO Max is really going full force with the Snyderverse thing, and the fact that Snyder, this is an Elseworlds thing, classifying it as that almost, and it's almost just like when he released these damn shirts and he trademarked this right here. I was like, a few of us were like, dude, he branded his shit. He branded it. Something is happening. He fucking branded it. That
was a big flex. Yeah,
exactly, a huge flex. And I think with him on his panel talking about like his whole thing, and OConnell saying like, Elseworlds, he can now do whatever he wants. If he wants to kill off Wonder Woman, he could, because Gal, she can exist in this world too. It's perfectly fine in the Patty Jenkins world. It's not tied up. She could be part of that world. So I don't know. It sounded to me like we're going to be getting maybe his full thing here. I don't know what you.
Well, I got Grace's tweet here. The hint is.
Go ahead and share it.
Let me share it.
I won't kick you out like I did the other time. When I accidentally kicked you out by closing out your screen.
Closing my screen.
Yeah. All right. So there it is right there.
Yeah. The hint is, when all is said and done, everyone will get to see the Snyder Cut as they like. It will be a ... celebration. Winky face.
Of course.
It's a brilliant release strategy, both from business, fan percent. You're all going to love it. More details. Okay, so this is a good thing.
Yeah, more details, but I think she even she responded to somebody with that as well, saying, see if you scroll down and see if you see anything like a response from her.
Wait, no, I'll go to her. I'm going
to go to her her tweets.
We're going to be Garza, we're searching your girlfriend's tweets here.
Be a part of it. I don't know, man. I remember there was something. I think it was a response.
I'll try to find it.
It's fine. It's fine.
I don't think that tweet means more though.
Yeah, but she said something else in response, I think. Yeah, and I think that's what I was referring to. Right there. Look at that one. I know.
And more. I know they plan to release a Snyder Cut on HBO Max and more. Oh, okay. So
that's what it is.
So there it is. Ooh.
So they're not going to, I mean, this could just mean like Snyder's, I mean, even Snyder alluded to when the question was asked, is it going to be a series or a movie? He said he couldn't say anything. And he goes, and then they asked, will we know at Fandom? And he said, yes. And the fact that he said no comment, and then it would be announced at Fandom, it's going to be a series. But it's also going to be a whole thing that you can also watch from start to finish. That's what we got to remember. I know there's some people that don't like the fact that it's going to be a series, but remember, it's going to be both. You're going to be able to watch it all the way through in one big chunk, or you could watch it in an episodic kind of format, which, you know, like I said, when they release it, and they're going to do it like weekly, every week, we're gonna be on, you know, we're gonna be on a live stream talking about what happened, you know, in Zack Snyder's Justice League. It just, that's what sells it. The fact that people will subscribe to HBO Max, and then they're gonna keep their, or you're done sharing your screen, right? Yeah. Okay.
You are.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute, I don't know what I'm looking at here. I don't want to look at your Pornhub tab.
Oh,
but
I almost clicked on it.
Yeah, I almost clicked on that. You had Ray Park's video set up.
No, Matt from Comic Movie Mark shared with me.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. It's the full version. Yeah, the full version. Oh man, too many jokes about that on the other stream. I don't know if you heard about what happened, Justin. Did you hear about Ray Park? You know, the guy who played, you know,
this is so sometimes when there's a bunch of stuff flying back and forth and I just log on to Twitter for a minute, I'll like Steven.
Yeah.
I sent the tweet a tweet to Steven I saw, and he sent me back one word. I'm sure you knew what the one word is. That's all I know about it.
Okay.
The video of something involving
his lightsaber.
Oh, his lightsaber. And it's not dual blade.
Yeah. It's a one blade. And it's being serviced. Anyways, I don't know. See, we got back on the shit, but it's just kind of funny. Anyways, geez, what were we talking about before this? Okay, yeah. So when it comes to the series thing, yeah, I mean, it just makes sense for a streaming service, and they're gonna release an episode week by week. And if it's gonna be like 6 episodes, who knows how many episodes, how they divide it, you know, it just makes sense. It just makes sense on a business side of it. And even like just listening to Snyder, and when that question was asked and talking about it, I mean, he made it sound like it's a good idea. He was hinting that it's a good idea, you know, and from what I gathered, it was his idea to do that. And I think that was his pitch. I mean, Snyder's a smart man, and I'm sure it was partly Debbie too, because she like works a lot of the business side. She's the producer, and they probably like, you know, we're sitting in bed one night or something like that. What if we release it as an episodic, you know, adventure series?
You're writing a book over here.
What's that?
No, you're writing a book over here.
Yeah, I know, right? See? So I mean, it just makes logical sense. So, but the people that are like, oh my God, I want to see it in one big chunk. You will. He's not going to just like, that's it. You got to see it like in episodes with cliffhangers and credits and everything and an intro. No, it's
the frustrating thing about not even those, but those people who said that, you know, Zack Snyder would want a movie. He didn't suggest that.
Oh yeah, they know what he wants.
Like we're influencing him to make a series. Like he's gonna do whatever he wants, and it's already in at least two Hollywood Reporter articles already he brought that up. He brought that up from himself.
Yeah, I kind of like what you said right here. JL is a full movie presented in chapters. Because that's how they'll do it. That's how they'll do it. They'll do it in chapters. Probably do like a Quentin Tarantino kind of style, you know?
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. We'll get it all in one big chunk, and looking forward to it. But yeah, like you said, Justin, I like how he just went off and he talked when they mentioned, like, you know, it's kind of funny too, because there's a certain scooper out there. Let's call him Scoopy Pants, who said that he was going to use Joss Whedon's footage in his cut of the movie. Yeah. What the fuck? I mean, we all kind of like, when we heard that information, we were like, I think we all collectively went, what the hell is this guy? What was he smoking over here? He still got those Warner Brothers sources. Is that what's happening right there? Still
Maybe whispering in the ear and telling him to say.
I don't believe there were sources. I don't believe there were sources.
I think he does have sources, but they're Warner Brothers sources. They're old sources that have nothing to do with this. This is all AT&T and Warner Media, and that's the thing. He's going to his old sources that he's established, through his career, and it's just Warner Brothers. And they don't have no idea what's going on. They wanted to bury this thing. That's why they kept telling him it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And then Adney Signor, same thing. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So they're writing these articles, and now they look stupid.
Yeah.
And add a fucking cop to it and be like, oh yeah, I was wrong. It's like, you gotta get newer sources, dude. You're right. You're part of the old guard. Now there's a new guard. You got to get new sources that are in touch with AT&T and Warner Media and what they are doing. So, it's just kind of funny when he said that. I mean, we all kind of collectively laughed. And then look how Snyder, it like triggered Snyder.
Yeah.
He may have not seen it. He hasn't seen the movie, but I think he's seen things and heard things that have really pissed him off. I mean, one of the things that he mentioned too was like the fact that he put his cut in black and white because he saw a poster over like in LA somewhere, and it was very colorful. Very colorful. I think we all kind of were wondering what was going on, specifically Batman. Why were they trying to turn him blue when we know?
Oh, yeah.
Blue? I mean, I think I maybe even said in a video, I'm like, well, they need him. I kind of get it because they were going for the Alex Ross thing, so they kind of wanted to make him stand out as that dark blue, but it almost looked purple. I don't know about you guys. It kind of looked like purplish. I don't know.
They're just playing around the saturation a little bit too much.
Very much.
Yeah.
So that the fact that he saw a poster and like he went home and just one night in his computer, he took his movie and just made it a noir version essentially.
Yeah.
And I think that's great. And did he actually tease that he was actually going to release a version in black and white?
That's what we were talking about, but I don't remember hearing that. But I haven't seen it a second time. I
saw a tweet somewhere that somebody claimed Grace said there's also going to be a black and white version.
That's awesome.
Grace said, "Oh, okay."
Okay, well, I mean, Grace says, I know, she doesn't bat 1,000 with everything, but if she talked to Snyder personally before,
she should probably know. Yeah,
I mean, I'm gonna take her for her word. I mean, and I would love to see that. I mean, there's something that black and white adds. I remember somebody did a noir version of BVS, and I remember when did you ever see the noir version of BVS?
Was that John? Who did that? Garza made that?
No, Garza didn't. It wasn't Garza that did it. It was somebody else did it. And I remember I was actually, for my work, I was flying to Portland. And I was like, all right, I'm going to load this up into my laptop and watch it on the plane, there and back. Because obviously it's a 3-hour long movie, so I couldn't watch the entire thing. But very well done. And it adds something. I even watched BVS last night because after all the hype of yesterday, I was like, fucking hey, I'm just going to put on that movie. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I got a little emotional last night. Superman died.
But that's the black because I saw did you guys see the Mad Max Chrome edition?
I didn't see that. No,
it's really cool because when you turn it black and white, it emphasizes the lighting more.
It really does.
It shows you the cinematography better. Like it shows you those aspects when you're not, there's too much coloration, but the lighting really stands out. And when you watch the Chrome edition, it looks really good.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of excited to see Justice League in black and white.
If I still have the download for BVS, I'll send it to you because what was kind of cool too was, if anything was like significantly red, which I think the only thing that comes to mind is when Bruce is talking to Alfred and he's 1% chance, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. That red is still there. And then anything when it comes to the kryptonite, the green still stays. So you got all this
like Sin City.
Yeah.
A little bit.
So so when you see the kryptonite, you'll still see the green. And when you see the kryptonite gas, it's all green. So I thought that was a cool little effect that they did with that. But there's something about black and white that really.
That's right. Logan had a black and white.
I still haven't seen that either. Yes. But did somebody do that, or did James Mangold do that? Because I remember him.
I think they released it like that.
Really? How did I miss that? I don't know. I'm gonna have to somebody send something to me. Send me a link. Send me anything, because I'll watch that tonight. I will 100%. I was waiting for that Logan Noir edition. I just thought like Mangold was doing it, and it never happened. It's official, man. I'm just like totally just like I'm sleeping here, guys. Jeez, that sucks.
I thought you were the film junkie. Yeah, no,
I know. That's bad. I'm not living up to my name here. Jeez.
It looks like
it's a 4K
director. It said there's an article here. Logan director explains why there's a black and white cut, so it's an official black and white cut.
There it is.
Oh, there we go.
Mangold released it. I totally missed it. I'm horrible.
I didn't know about it either. And that
totally
movie
slipped.
really works thematically, I would think, with black and white.
Oh, it 100% would. Yeah.
There's some versions. Yeah.
Well, somebody send me over a link or somewhere where I could purchase that shit, man. Because I definitely want to see it. But I also wanted to bring up because there was a panel for the posters and some contest winners too that made some really cool stuff. First off, there's a really cool poster that that was brought up, which was this guy right here, which of course was part of the shirt. But this is that's pretty cool.
That's sick.
That's very
cool. Awesome.
It's not a bad poster at all. We got everybody's hands with all their gauntlets and everything like that, reaching out. You know? So that's
reaching out to Jon Stewart.
Yeah, is that what it is? Yeah.
No, I'm just.
You're gonna come into the DCU. Come on.
Yeah.
Or reaching out to
throw a green ring on there, and then
that'd be pretty interesting right there. And then there was a contest that was being held for the best art for Martian Manhunter, and this is the winner right here.
Oh yeah, who won?
So me.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah, so he had this GIF right here that he made that was like pretty cool. You know,
it's a cute version. It's a little cute version.
And then just opens up that little storyboard. I mean, I like the fact that the storyboard like opens up. So
that's creative.
Yeah, that's very creative right there. So
there were some that you could think that it was like a screen grab out of
right here. Look at this right here. I mean, geez, there's some people that are really talented with that.
That's really amazing.
That looks like a Telltale game.
Kind of does.
Yeah. That's
pretty cool. And then there's this right here. You know, just more stuff like that. Look at that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rotoscoped.
Yeah. Man.
Nice.
And then there was this one right here. I want to see if this plays. Yeah.
This is a full-on video.
Yeah. Look at that.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah. Look at that. That's combining storyboard with
making it 3D and everything.
Wow. Music and everything. But
this
you know what? It's not
might be my favorite. This actually might be my favorite out of all.
Yeah. Was it because it wasn't a GIF? Or
probably. I don't know. Yeah, this is like a full-on video. Maybe that's
a full-on video, but that is amazing.
Yeah, there he is.
You think we're gonna see Martian Manhunter in the trailer?
Nah.
No, we're not. We wouldn't get that.
See, that's the thing.
You wouldn't have a pivotal moment, right? I mean, it's like he's not.
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. I mean, like when I listening to Snyder yesterday and, I mean, obviously the past 2.5 years, he's given away like a lot of things, a lot of surprises. And I know some people are like, oh my God, I want to be more surprised. That's why I even heard people today when they were talking about the black suit clip, it's something that we've already seen. It's not new footage. It's just now you see it with a black suit. Right. And some people were like okay with that because they didn't want to see anything new. They want to go in more fresh. They want to they just want to see nothing else. And even Snyder, like talking yesterday, I mean, first off, he hasn't dropped anything since the thing's announced. I don't think he's really dropped any screenshot, any stills or anything. And then even yesterday, he said, oh yeah, I'm talking about, there's a scene that I'm thinking about, but I can't talk about it because I don't want to spoil anything. So, when it comes to the trailer, I can't really see him showing that. I mean, first off, doesn't he still have to film like the Harry Lennox part of it?
Oh yeah, he didn't film that one. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So
I mean, on the back of the thing you gave to Pegasus Phoenix, what was that guy's name?
Oh, Victor Koo. Yeah.
On the back, he said something cool with Martian Manhunter.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
and then it's Batman, Superman, and Lewis. Yeah, Lewis. What did you say, Lewis or Lois?
Yeah, Lewis.
He spelled Lewis, but
yeah. Stevens from Even Stevens is going to make a cameo in the movie.
There it is. That old show. Shia LaBeouf. That's when we first got. Yeah. But yeah, so I don't think there'll be Martian Manhunter in the trailer. I think like I said, there's going to be OG Steppenwolf, more just more footage that we haven't seen. Probably a little bit. Man, I don't know if we'll see a little bit of Black Suit Superman. But then again, he actually made the joke that any of his trailers that he released, he was all, did any of my trailers have Superman in it? Any of those trailers have? And everybody, we kind of went, no. The trailers that specifically came from him before he left did not show Superman. But but I think like other TV spots and other trailers eventually had Superman show up.
Fabian Wagner said something today, and I think he already said that on Comic Book Debate, but that Zack Snyder helped him with the 3 trailers, the first 3, but I don't remember.
Well, I think it's like a teaser.
Oh, a teaser would have been a trailer. Yeah.
Teaser Comic. I don't know how many exactly there were, because the last trailer that showed up, I think the Heroes trailer, had the Russian family in it.
Oh, right. Oh, and it started off with the ring with Superman. That was the last one, right?
Superman,
the one with the hero song. Yeah.
But what do you talk about the ring?
The one he says, "Oh, when he saw that she has a ring."
Yeah.
I
was like, ring. Yeah. I'm thinking
the
Green
one ring.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was thinking that.
For some reason, ring. I just really went to like my head went to lantern. Like, what?
Like,
you know, in the history lesson, when the ring flies off, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Justice like, why am I in this?
Well, you're Lord of the Rings. You're Green Lantern. It's just. I know. I was like the wedding ring, guys. Come on, this is
all right. So Garza said it was the teaser, JL1, no protectors, but the trailer was manipulated because
that's true.
It was 3, so. Maybe, it was manipulated because, like, I remember seeing the Russian family in that Heroes trailer. Like, you see the little girl, like, look out the window or something like that, and you see all the parademons like flying out or something. So, so the last trailer was definitely manipulated, but the first couple trailers were definitely Snyder's. But he made that joke. But I just love the fact, and like you were saying, Justin, how he just went off and he goes like, if I were going to have any piece of footage that wasn't mine, I'll burn it. He said something. I'm don't quote me. I'm totally paraphrasing here, but like, he was just like, I'll burn it to the fucking ground, or, but he was just dropping F-bomb after F-bomb. Somebody needs that. Anybody have that clip? Send that to me. We should watch that. Right. Do you have it?
I put it on my Twitter. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. No. I'll look right now.
Show it up.
Here, I'll
share the screen. Oh.
Here, I'll DM it to you.
Oh, okay.
Send it.
Yeah, I'll send you my tweet right now. Hold on.
Okay. Or you probably just click your name and see.
There, I just sent it to you.
Okay.
Well, I just didn't want you to like have to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it easy. I'm trying to be a team player here.
Well, you are. Good. Okay. All right. So let's make. Let me share the screen first, not before I do full screen. Hello. All right. So let's watch this right here, where we see Mr. Snyder going off, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's absolutely beautiful when he does it. I love this.
There are people out there that are kind of misinformed about, the difference between your movie and the movie that came out in 2017. And some of them are claiming that you're going to use some of Whedon's scenes.
Look at his face.
I see no chance on
the way that he shakes his head.
a shot that was made prior or after I left the movie. There would be no. I would destroy the movie. I would set it on fire before I would use a single frame that I did not photograph. That is a fucking hard fact. And that is just. And then I mean,
we knew this, but I had to ask just so that we have
for the audience.
I literally would blow that fucking thing up.
There are people out there that are kind of misinformed.
Oh, so good. So freaking good. So good.
Right. So have either of you read The Fountainhead?
No, I still haven't. Sorry.
That's literally what happens in The Fountainhead. So in The Fountainhead, Howard Rourke designs a building for Peter Keating.
Oh, he blew it. Yeah.
So he says, here's the one criteria I will give this to you. Here's my one rule. You cannot change these blueprints. So what do? They build the housing complex with a bunch of changes to it.
Yeah.
So what does Howard Rourke do?
Blows it up.
He blows it up, literally.
Blows it up.
That's what happens in
the
Yeah.
Then he goes to court and he gives a giant speech about how he had a right to blow it up because it belonged to him and he's the creator. They took what he created and changed it and made it worse without his permission.
Yeah.
So that's literally referencing that, and he builds towards it. And the thing I love about that clip is he's like, I'm going to destroy it, I'm going to burn it. And then you see the look on his face where he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go the full Fountainhead. and he just goes full foul. And he's just like, I'd blow the fucking thing up. And it's just it's beautiful because you see the strength he has now.
Yeah.
Because, and this is a big part of my book is, and I'm not doing that just to plug it, but it's just.
It's okay. I took a drink for it.
The reason this quote is so epic is it shows the journey he went on as a person, right?
Yeah.
He compromised during the shooting of Justice League, and a lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's now saying he's going to go full Rourke, that is the complete opposite. He is at a journey, and he has learned about even more than he had before artistic integrity. And it makes us look back when he says, Netflix is letting me just do whatever I want with this film, and no one has ever done that before. Now we know why he wanted that. And it makes us look back on the name Stone Quarry and why he picked that name. Because Rourke went to work in the Stone Quarry in Fountainhead because he couldn't do the work he wanted without compromising. And then, who was it? I saw a tweet. Somebody shared a Vero post from, I retweeted it, I believe.
Yeah, it was in February, right? Are you talking about
February?
The No Compromise, the one with Rorschach? Yeah.
Yeah.
When his cut came out, when his cut of Justice League came out, right?
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is when he screened it for the people.
Yeah.
And it's Rorschach, and it says never compromise, not even in the face of Armageddon. I truly believe he learned on set what happened. With what happened on set, he learned about compromise.
Yeah.
And why he made a mistake.
And that's why like he even said, he's been saying like no compromise. He's been really harking on that. I mean, because like, I mean, he had to do that he had to do that with BVS at one point, and then finally got his cut out that he wanted to get out. And then when it came to Justice League, I mean, with the reception, he had to do compromise compromise, because I mean, that was one of the things that, you know, was always up for debate. Like, when was the Steppenwolf design changed? And a lot of people thought it was changed when Joss Whedon came on, and I was like, no, it was, from what I gathered, and it was actually confirmed that it was changed very early on. Like I want to know how many Steppenwolf designs they went through. There's probably, I mean, yeah, we see like a couple of different versions when it came to concept art, and then of course you can compare it to the BVS version when you see Lex Luthor talking to him. And then, of course, you see previs versions and everything, which you mentioned as well. But I mean, I'm sure there's like probably, who knows, there could be like 50 to 100 different versions of that. They can't go, hey, is this okay? No. Is this okay? So, you know, and just, it's just, I mean, I mean, like you said, Justin, I mean, he learned the hard facts of all that, to try to compromise with the studio and just the struggles and the headaches that he had to go through. And then, the fact that he said February, that he had the full-on cut, and then somebody brought up that Rorschach image that he posted about Armageddon. Yeah, I mean, it's just all, you kind of just, the puzzles all start coming together, and it's just crazy. I just want to hear the whole story.
Do you know how much time I spent reading his Vero when I was writing?
Oh, I'm sure.
Where a lot of the plotting came from. If you look at his Vero, it tells a story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Story.
Yeah.
I mean, that's compromising. Like, if you look at his history, like, he didn't compromise on 300. He didn't compromise on Watchmen. He started compromising on Sucker Punch. Yeah. And then he didn't compromise, but that's because who was there? Christopher Nolan. I mean, do you think he could have gotten away with killing Zod if Nolan wasn't there? No. It's well documented that he and Goyer went to Nolan and convinced him from a narrative standpoint why it was important. And there's many interviews with Goyer out there explaining why it happened, why they did it narratively. And then Nolan leaves, and then all of a sudden he starts compromising on Batman versus Superman, and that compromise in post-production led to the editing of the script.
Right.
Once that happened in post-production of BVS and the editing of the script of Justice League, that's when it was done. We were never going to get a Zack Snyder movie.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Unfortunate.
I know. Studios and guy with the ball cap. I wonder how he's feeling.
Well, he's a. I was just gonna say when you said the ball cap.
He doesn't wear it backwards. Okay, he always wears it frontwards. Yeah, you're good.
What's well, hiding his face, right?
Yeah, he has it. He has it like the bill, like really, like, you know, bendable,
close together. Yeah.
Yeah. So don't worry. You're not representing the guy with the ball cap. You're good. You're good. You're right there. It
was just funny because he said that, and I'm like,
yeah, I know.
I know. That's why when you said, I was like looking at his head. I was like,
because I always forget that you're actually because you always wear it backwards, so I always don't see the bill, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Because
the thing that is about Jeff Johns that a lot of people don't realize is I don't think he's that different from Zack Snyder. And what I mean by that is here's a guy who's used to being like the
you're canceled now, buddy.
On the comics. He tries to be more bro-y in that way, always wearing the baseball cap. And I'm not saying like I'm trying to do it, but I think that's the difference between Zack Snyder and Jeff Johns is I think Jeff Johns is put on more, and I think Zack Snyder is authentic more. And again, this is an industry issue, right? A lot of people in the industry are very put on. They're pretending to be. I mean, we see this with both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, right? The reason there's so much controversy over both of them is they're both revered for what they put on in order to get popular, and then we find out they're both psychopaths. And I think that in some ways, Jeff Johns and Snyder are very similar, and in some ways, actually, my slip of the tongue, I think in some ways Jeff Johns and Whedon are very similar. So it's interesting that happened because you could almost see Jeff Johns as like part Snyder, part Whedon, and I think that's why a lot of this happened.
Yeah, and also, and by no means are we trying to be like, oh, let's support, let's defend like some of these guys. But I get what you're saying too, because this reminds me of when you hear stories about how Whedon struggled with Marvel Studios with ideas for Age of Ultron. Apparently he was like fighting with them back and forth to try to get some ideas in there. That's why I guess Age of Ultron just is kind of not, it just didn't hit as hard as like the first Avengers. Seemed like the first Avengers, it was like, do what you got to do, man. And he did it. And he pulled it off. I mean, let's face it. We got to give the guy credit. He pulled off that team up, somehow he gave the perfect balance to all the characters. Cause essentially it's another Iron Man movie. It revolves around Iron Man because obviously that's the most popular character. So you had to revolve it around Iron Man. And then he had all these little side characters and he gave just like the perfect balance to it. I mean, you watch it now, it's not as cinematic as I remember. Like when I watch it now, it doesn't feel as cinematic especially after the slew of comic book movies, specifically Zack Snyder comic book movies that have come out that really feel cinematic. Like Avengers it kind of feels almost like it could have been a TV show or something like that when I now watch it. But still, I still give the man credit for pulling that off. But yeah, he went through his struggles too. And John's probably went through his struggles too when it came to writing some of these comic books that he's written that are super dark and everything like that. So I see what your point is when it comes to all that, Justin.
Well, as far as Whedon goes, two things about what you said. The first on the Marvel point, what a lot of people don't realize about the MCU is if you look at Avengers, it's kind of a tilting point. And what I mean by that is Avengers was the last movie they did before Disney bought Marvel and started distributing.
Yeah.
So there was an insane amount of oversight on Disney post-Avengers. That's why if you look at the movies before Avengers, especially the Iron Man movies.
Oh yeah, shit.
A lot different thematically.
Well, even like the first like Captain America, and the first Thor movie. I mean, I prefer the first Thor movie over the other two.
Right.
That's what
too.
Because they were
Kenneth Branagh,
independent studio at that point.
Yeah, so, an Incredible Hulk. Yeah, Incredible Hulk too. I mean, it was a totally different. I mean, it was 100% a different. That could have been a different Hulk in a different multiverse. It doesn't even feel like the Hulk that eventually came out now.
Okay, so someone in the chat said that Avengers is the first Disney produced movie, so it's still the tilting. I was just wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I know. It does still make sense.
They still didn't have their hooks fully in there yet, right? Because when you look at after that, you can see that Feige was he had the plan for where they wanted to go with Iron Man, and that he knew where Endgame was going to end. So that's what was influencing him controlling all the movies, right? Like a puppet master. Yeah. And then that goes to Justice League. Let's not be naive, right? Again, not defending Whedon. He did great stuff in the past, but we know all the problems he had with even the way he acted back then. I still think Felicia Day has a career because of something she may have done with him. Because I haven't seen any.
I've heard.
Right.
Okay.
So we're not. I'm pretty clear that I'm not excusing anything, Joss Whedon. I'm not defending him. But let's not. He had a walk in the park doing his cut of this movie.
Oh yeah.
You think they were on him and telling him what to do and saying your limitations and all of these things? it was hard for him too.
Oh, yeah.
They're all
100%.
guilty.
Yeah, it was 100% was, but it's just the fact that, like, did he actually think he could pull it off? I don't think anybody could have even pulled that off. But anyways, Mr. Nicotina is joining the stream right now.
Hey.
How you feeling? How you feeling? Your eyes, you're looking a little, you got some bags under the eyes, man. Are you okay?
Thanks a lot. It's nice to see you too. No, I feel great. You know, it's been a busy weekend. You know, I've been out here in my studio for like, it feels like for 3 days, even though it's been like a day and a half. But no, it's been a lot of fun, and this whole experience was great. I mean, just being able to hang out with everybody and being on the different shows, and it's just great. It's just great to be able to, you know, kind of, you know, help bring together like this whole community and all the fandom, and that's what it's all about. It's just all about having a great time.
It really
and you know, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, you know, thanks for putting all this together. I know I kind of effed up the scheduling a little bit yesterday.
Not at all.
You know,
hey, but you know what? I actually did check on that ahead of time. And so I went to Real Emotion. I went to the YouTube page and I didn't see a scheduled broadcast. So at that point, and I was so tired, I was like, what time are they supposed to start? I was like, let me get back to that. And then I ended up messaging you, and that was about it. I was like, oh,
yeah,
no.
Well, what was interesting about that is, like, I think what threw me off is I thought they eventually did, but it was later at night. Like, I thought
11
it was
p.m. or something.
Yeah, 11 o'clock, like my time or something like that. Or,
yeah, I think they were basing it on like Pacific. I don't know what they were basing it on.
I don't know.
Either way, they still went on and everything was fine.
Yeah, no, it was just like it confused me. So then I was like, you know, I was bringing in like everybody and their fucking mom into this damn thing. So,
I know.
Yeah, it got a little crazy, and then you know
the whole Justice Con panel in there. Like,
pretty much, I pretty much did. Like, geez, so I just
was like half alive. The girls were half alive. And
yeah,
like,
dude, I was like,
was all
and then all of a sudden
tired.
I see a message in the private chat for, you know, and it was you going, "Hey, are you going to invite like the real?" I was like, "Oh shit, am I supposed to?" And I immediately sent the links over, and it was like. They were, and then all of a sudden, Garza was like, "Oh, we're already on." And I was like, "Oh shit!" And, so then I was like, "All right, let's wrap it up real quick." But yeah, and Garza, I know I didn't follow the schedule. You did, Garza. Whatever. I'll follow it today. We still got a time.
Let's see what we got here. I'll even check the schedule for you, Dave. Let's see.
Yeah.
We go until 5:30.
That's why Nick
Pacific
is here,
time. Yeah, 5:30 Pacific time. That's the real time.
And then Lightcast goes on after them.
See, like, here's the thing. You guys don't understand how hard it is. I mean, actually, Chris kind of knows. But when you live on the West Coast, everything is always East Coast time or Central time. So you're always like trying to do the math in your head. And oh my God, there's been so many things where I'm just like, wait, what time is that at? Oh my God. I even told my guests on my show yesterday, because you know, I had to go on at 4 a.m. because it was a 7 a.m. Eastern time, 4 a.m. Pacific. And so I had to tell my guests, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be there it's supposed to be 7:15 Eastern time. Instead, for some dumbass reason, I was like, be there at 9:15. And all of a sudden I realized that that's the wrong time. Yeah. And I had to go in there. I had to message them. They were like, oh yeah.
Well, when I had Mario Robles on here, I fucking totally forgot to say like his time, because I was like, oh, I go on at 9. And he goes, okay. And then at 6 o'clock my time, he was like waiting. He's like, so when is this happening? I went, oh, did you not think it was, oh shit. So I was like, yeah, I meant my time. He goes, oh, I guess I should get some coffee then. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm sorry. And he's all, no biggie, man. I'm still looking forward to it. So I'll see you in 3 hours. And I was like, sorry, man.
For this one, you told me your time, but I knew that you weren't thinking properly. So I knew.
Yeah, I did. I actually said my time when I DM'd you. I was like, I have to like make that specific, like, because I know, I mean, obviously, you know where I live, Justin. Some people might be like, still like, oh, where does, you know, because maybe they don't like paying attention or whatever. So yeah, you definitely have to, coordinate that. I think that's why, like, sometimes when like a lot of people are going like, hey man, you need to get Film Gob on. I'm like, yeah, he's 8 hours ahead. Sometimes it's like, it's not that easy.
It's not easy.
There's been times where I actually had Film Gob on the vodka stream at one point, but he was like, he was just waking up, you know, I'm already like, you know, 2 hours into a fucking, you know, stream, just talking out of my ass. And, you know, so it's like, it's hard to coordinate some of that sometimes. Yeah. I think even when I was still doing my podcast, I had Chris Dawson on, and same book. He was 8 hours ahead. So you have to coordinate that stuff. I don't even know how the girls did it, because Nana, she's like in the UK. She's like 8 hours ahead. I don't know how they coordinated all that and, you know, figured out the times and everything. She's probably the least sleep the most sleep deprived.
Yeah.
When it came to all that. But Nick, when it came to the panels today, what stood out for you?
You know, they were all really good. I enjoyed every single one of them. I was really excited to see what the word was from Sean O'Connell.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then he said elsewheres at first. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
he said elsewhere's Justice World. I'm like, what? Is that a store? I don't understand.
Where else would it go? Nah.
And then, yeah, he said Elseworld. So I mean, and that was what it wasn't really a word I was predicting for him to say, but I mean, I guess it you know, it makes sense in the sense that it's its own universe. And so Zack can do whatever he wants with the characters at this point because it's not gonna connect to anything else that's come out since then. So that's what I took from it, that he has free reign to pretty much do whatever he wants. And then, you know, we still didn't get any answers in terms of like Green Lantern.
Yeah.
You know, if you know, who is Green Lantern? Where is Green Lantern? Like, how does that all fit in? I mean, the idea that Ryan Reynolds could be Green Lantern, you know, that's still, I don't even know if that's still out there or not. But there's so many different possibilities at this point, you know?
It's so up in the air because, I mean, the information I gathered from my source was that Reynolds has always been wanting to come back. I mean, I'm talking about from years ago, like, you know, like during like production of BVS. That's what I'm talking about. Is like he's always expressed interest to come back. And I guess it's been known like behind the scenes, not widely known in the public, but you know, and when I made my video that it would be like the ultimate power move, it's just because, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen with Reynolds and Deadpool now that it's over with Disney, because it's still very up in the air what Disney plans on doing. I mean, they really, if they own this much of the film industry, they need to have that adult content. And what better way to show that, hey, we're still okay by releasing the third Deadpool, or like announcing the third Deadpool movie, saying it's rated R, saying it's going to stay in the same vein as the other two. And if that's like at a standstill, nothing is happening, which according to Rob Liefeld, nothing is happening, and he doesn't think it's going to happen. So if Reynolds were to just be like, well, fuck you guys, I'm going to go back over to Warner Brothers and try to do my character, that would be a middle finger to them. And then, of course, if they do it right, and specifically Snyder, bringing him into his universe and giving him some redemption, that'd be a middle finger to, well, the guy with the ball cap.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Jason. Okay, I like the front-facing ball cap.
He leaves right away. He's like, "What the hell, out of here!" But no, and that, you know, that could happen. We just don't know. You know,
Yeah.
Although, I mean, when I first heard the word, you know, Elseworld, my first assumption was that I was like, okay, does that negate that whole idea now? Because then wouldn't the other Green Lantern be in his own world as well?
Yeah.
So that's why I was kind of like, oh shoot, what does that even mean? Like, it just left a lot of things up in the air. I was just like, wow, that's crazy.
But at the same time, if he like brings in, like, you know, even if he brings in Ryan Reynolds, I mean, that doesn't mean, like, because we all know that the guy with the ball cap is making his own Green Lantern verse, I guess you could say. He's going to be producing the show and probably help writing it, and then he's got the Green Lantern chorus. And from what I heard, from somebody who's been in touch with all that and has heard or possibly read some things about the show and the movie, it does sound awesome. I'm not gonna lie. Like, from what I've heard from like what the movie is gonna talk about and how it connects with the show, and there's gonna be multiple Green Lanterns. Like, we're talking about Stewart, Jordan, Cruz, and what's the other guy? I always forget his name.
Kyle Rayner,
Raz. Well, no, something. No. Simon something.
What are we talking about?
No, because you got Jessica Cruz and Simon.
Sorry, I'm thinking
part of that. Yeah, I mean, I can't remember. I can never. Somebody in the live chat's gonna like blow it up right now. I already know.
Here it comes. Any second now.
Simon Baz. I said, okay. See, I said Raz or whatever the hell. Yeah, Simon Baz. So I've been hearing like there's gonna be and then there could be a Gardner and you know, there could be a Kyle Rayner. You know, there could be multiple, and then of course the alien type Green Lanterns as well. It all sounds great, but it's like, okay, but if Snyder is in fact doing his own Elseworlds thing, he could easily just like, fuck it, let's bring Ryan Reynolds back, because let's face it, he's A-list now. To have Reynolds back in, like, you know, that would be part of his universe would be a huge get. I mean, we're all still waiting on the Affleck thing, obviously. I mean, we all want to, even the girls were like, we didn't hear anything about on their final word stream tonight. Yeah, I like your shirt, by the way.
I like that. It's cool.
Very awesome. I want
someone in the chat asked to see it, so I was trying to do.
Yeah,
like,
you were very casual. I don't know how you do that. You were like,
hey, that was good.
That was very.
Yeah,
that was sad. I was like,
that out.
Oh, just gotta, yeah. No, but where'd you get that shirt, by the way?
It was a box lunch exclusive.
Oh shit! I gotta try to find that. I really like that shirt. Really, I mean, obviously being a Batman fan and everything.
Yeah, no, I got it because this is the low. I mean, it's Wayne Financial,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
But the logo, it just says Wayne Industries instead. So I got it looked like the BBS one to me.
Nah,
that's
it's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah,
really dig that. Yeah, I won't have to try to sniff that one out somewhere because I really like that. But yeah, I mean, it's still, like I said, with their final stream that they had, the final word, the girls even said, like, because somebody asked, like, about Ben Affleck, and they were like, we didn't know anything about it, this, that, because there was stuff going around that there was possibly going to be some kind of announcement on Justice Con, or possibly, a pop in by Ben Affleck himself. And I mean, it was I remember because I was kind of talking.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, I was kind of talking with them. I was kind of talking with them, a little bit too, just like anywhere I can help out. What do you want to promote, or anything that we could do. Mm-hmm. And then I heard that there was like this rumor going around. There was a possibility of a Ben Affleck showing up, and they were like, I guess they were just like kind of, it kind of stresses you out because people are getting hyped up over fake news. You gotta watch out.
Go back to the director's cuts events, though. I mean, that at the art center in Pasadena, my fiance's company does work with them, or did work with them around the time, and she had people telling them there were rumors of Affleck and Godot showing up. So,
I remember that. Yeah,
really? Wow.
Yeah,
it really
that's
was
true.
But, we have a fifth guest coming in, Mr. Fatal J. What's up?
Hey!
Hold on, can y'all see me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see
Why?
you.
why can we see you?
I swear my computer just froze. Y'all sure y'all can see me?
Yeah, you're moving
you're
around.
Good. You're good. Yeah, you're dancing around. We see you.
Are we frozen to you?
I swear all I see is pure black on my computer.
Oh, wow.
But it's all good.
Blind right now.
As long as you could hear us, right? As long as you could hear us. So how you doing today, sir?
I'm doing absolutely well. The Nerd Queens did a wonderful job. And can I tell you guys a secret?
Of course.
I don't want y'all to throw darts at me. I don't want the chat to throw darts at me. But that Ray Fisher interview was better than the Zack Snyder. I'm just keeping it real, man. It was so interesting because while I was watching it, I told my wife, I said, shh, give me some popcorn. This is entertaining.
Yeah, it was good. It was juicy.
Yeah. He wasn't holding back. I did not think that was going to be mentioned during his panel. I did not think. I thought like he would have told him, hey, don't bring up because when it came to like some of these panels, I mean, as much as there was like, oh, they were going to take fan questions and whatnot, there was still going to be some pre-screened stuff. I figured,
Yeah.
I did hear that there was, even with Snyder, but I think Snyder wanted to like, hey, talk about the Whedon footage. I'm gonna go fucking off on that shit.
Right.
Yeah, and he did, which we showed the clip earlier. I think that was pretty set.
Well, the girls said that. I mean, they said they presented the questions to the guest first to make sure they can ask those questions.
So Snyder, like Justin, if you're, I'm telling you, Snyder was already, he wanted that question so he could go off on that. That wasn't just like he was waiting for it.
Yeah. But Dave,
more. That's even better if it's planned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I figured that'd make you happy.
This blew my mind though when he said if he filed a lawsuit on me, let him do it as long as the truth come out. When he said that, I said,
"Oh, we were all doing that. We were all. I was just sitting there going, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
I had my hand over my mouth too, going, "Jesus
yeah."
Christ.
And this is the kicker.
Did y'all
catch? Did y'all catch what he said when he said more people are with him on this? Like they're.
Oh yeah.
He said it's like it's a process going on. So it might be more actors or.
I'm sure.
I think the other cast members wanted to help, and he says no, don't need. because
Yeah,
he has nothing,
dude. Oh man, just wait till Godot starts singing. I mean,
if she say something, it's over.
It's over. If she speaks out against him, it's over.
It's over.
It's absolutely over.
Everybody loves Gal. Everybody loves
of
her.
course. And I just can't wait to hear what Momoa has to say. Because remember when we saw that clip of Ray Fisher at Comic-Con pretending like, oh yeah, and Joss Whedon came in here, and then you just see him drop the microphone and just be like, I had to fucking say that right now.
Yeah.
And Momoa was sitting there like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just like this straight face.
Yes.
He even glanced at him. Ray looked at him.
And it was funny though, because the Ray looked at him like, you gonna say something now?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You gonna say
He was
something?
he was like, dude, I just fucking said it. I can't believe I fucking said that right now. Jesus
Yeah.
Christ. So
But I feel like, and I could be wrong. Just put this on Fatal J. Chat, just put this on Fatal J. I feel like Gal Gadot, we might, because of that scene with Flash. Remember that scene with Flash? I don't know why that was in the movie. Why was that in the movie?
when he fell in the boobies,
right?
When he fell on top of her and she was unconscious, that was like the weirdest thing to me. That took me out of the movie.
That was a whole reshoot.
Yeah,
it was
like,
that's why you never see her face laying there. She's looking the other
It wasn't
direction.
even Gal.
That wasn't her.
She didn't
That
want to do it.
Yeah, she didn't want to do it. That was a stunt double.
Well, that's why, like, when the stand-in or the stunt double, I don't know, the body double, or whatever, when she tweeted out like pictures of her like in shots that look like from that's when immediately I was like, holy shit, does this mean like they fucking digitally put Gal's face on her? Wait a minute, what's going on with these? But it turns out, it's just standing for lighting and this and this.
Well, Larry Fong kind of eluded that you're on the money.
Yeah. I know that's the thing, but I had to like backtrack because she did clarify, and I was like, "Damn it!" I might have said that a little too, I was a little too presumptuous with that. But
Garza go through and find all the shots of Wonder Woman in the theatrical cut where we don't see her face directly, and we can see if those shots are the stunt double or not. Because that's the way you do it, right? You do 4 shots, you do from behind, you do from the side.
Well, even like Colbert, I mean, he brought up the fact that when she wears the cape or whatever, the draping over her, like that was a way to just be like, okay, hide the body, because they might have digitally put Gal Gadot's face over the stand-in, and it'd be a lot easier to less noticeable if you covered the shoulders.
Man, so they're freaking amazing at doing those body swaps, because y'all, it's crazy. Y'all watch Game of Thrones?
I haven't.
Oh yeah.
What? Yeah, I know. I'm terrible.
Most of those explicit scenes that we saw was not the actor.
Heard about that.
I've heard,
I think the scene with what's her name who plays the queen in 300, when she had to do a scene where she was like walking naked. That was a body.
Shame.
Oh
Shame.
God.
That wasn't actually her. That was actually a body double. But that happens a lot in Hollywood. Everybody has like a butt double, I guess you could say.
Except Ben Affleck, that was really his butt. Right?
Ben Affleck, and Gone Girl, he fucking showed his bat wing.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you what else threw me off about Justice League. And I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna put it out there because we all read Blooded Males.
Yes.
Remember the butt shot from Gal? You remember that?
Oh yeah, when they're coming off the plane. I mean, I just
yeah. I thought you were talking about actual, like full-on nude butt shot. I was like, woof.
He was like, "Let me in the stream now."
I'm like, "What are you talking about? What did I miss?" No, you're talking about when they're coming off the plane and then it kind of comes down and then you just like it's like Gal's butt is right there.
I mean, don't get paid or wrong. I wasn't complaining, but it just took me out. It took me out of the movie. And I was like, that had to been your boy Josh Whedon,
Yeah, because I remember when I saw that, like I remember thinking, I was like, oh, there's an ass shot. Why was that necessary? Okay, but I mean, it's just something you notice, and that
it got my attention.
I'm done. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. I'm done.
You're like, my wife's gonna see this. Damn it. No, but like, I know. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to when we actually see Zack Snyder's Justice League is to kind of compare and finally, because I mean it's pretty easy, and then of course we can go back to when I absolutely loved it when Snyder during his panel just decided to like give us a fucking lesson on aspect ratios and IMAX.
That was awesome.
Hey,
but
you know what? He's
a
heck of an artist too, bro. He's a heck of an artist.
The fact that he just brought up like I even tweeted it too. Like, let me see if I can pull it up here. But the fact that he just drew up Batman so quickly, and it was just like it was like a little perfect like little image right here, where and I even tweeted it at Ben Affleck because I was like, hey man, Snyder's calling you back right here, motherfucker. Look at this.
Hey.
You want
there? So Ben Affleck did show up. Okay.
Yeah, so technically Ben Affleck did show up. No, but I mean, I just love the fact that he used Batman as like, to talk about aspect.
Oh, yeah, that was a big deal. I remember when I saw it, I was like, oh my God, there's Batfleck. Oh my God, here it comes.
Did you guys already talk about the painting behind him? Everybody's speculating that that's
no. We didn't really. Well, I think we talked about it yesterday on the stream
okay.
Today, so, but I mean, I kind of already get what's back there. What did you think, Jay?
Well, from the far left, or it might be my far right, I thought that was Nightmare Batman right there. But everybody's saying that's the Wonder Woman picture with Chris Pine.
It's not with Chris Pine though. It's the filler shot. I think it's
okay.
Like because before Wonder Woman was a thing, they had to for BVS they had to have like a filler shot of like an old image of Wonder Woman back, fighting in some kind of war. So I think, when BBS was first shot, they took a picture with her in a different era and they had that filler shot. But then as soon as like Wonder Woman kicked in the gear and that all came to be, and then of course, Wonder Woman came out shortly after, then they were filming. So they replaced the shot with the Chris Pine shot. So
that's what I was wondering too, because Chris Pine was a big deal coming off of Star Trek. So I was like, dang, how did they already get him in the bag for Wonder Woman way back then when we were just focusing on BBS?
That was added way later. I mean, because BBS was in post-production when Wonder Woman started kicking into gear. Okay. So they had to shoot a filler shot, and I think that's why I even said it. I'm like, it's the alternate Wonder Woman image, right? Correct. And I think some people were like, even some people who may have seen it or may have not. So that even like kind of like mentioned it. So yeah, I think that's what it is. Just kind of funny how he just has that behind him, just randomly like
framed, hella big.
Yeah,
I was like,
that's probably why he blurred his zoom.
I know. His zoom was so professional. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Really good.
I'm so jealous of like his like setup because he's got probably like a specific like kind of. I mean, and I think it's also like set at like 24 frames per second to make it look like a fucking. And
that's Steve Urkel?
I love that picture. Whenever he goes to it, I love it.
I was like, oh, wait, that's Urkel.
I did the double take too. I leaned in a little bit.
Every time he does that, I'm always like, oh God.
Like, what the fuck? Okay, Fatal J all of a sudden turned into Urkel. I like it a lot. But are we going to be able to do the stream? Oh, there you go.
Let me tell y'all guys something. I look up to two people in my life, and they just really did something to me. They inspired me. One, Pee Wee Herman.
Nice.
Two, Steve Urkel. I really want to meet those guys in my life.
So you like those overly nerdy guys that were.
But let me tell you, this is the secret to Pee Wee Herman and Steve Urkel. In real life, they're like the coolest dudes on planet Earth. You remember when Steve Urkel went inside that machine and turned into Stephon Urkel?
Yeah,
that's how he is in real life.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know. People were so shocked when they found out what he really talked like. Sorry, Justin.
I said, but Paul Rubens got caught masturbating in the theater. That's not like on my.
He did.
Justin, let me tell you something. Hey man,
I remember that.
Man, Pee Wee. Because guess what? If you went to one of those movies, I'm pretty sure you're not just gonna be watching. Okay, that's the whole point of going.
Well, good thing now we can all do that from the comfort of our homes with Pornhub. And
that was before we had it online.
Exactly. And it was funny too, because talking about Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Paul Rubens was in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He was like the right hand.
A lot of people don't know that was Paul Rubens as that vampire.
Yeah, and he was great. He was fantastic.
He was spectacular in Blow.
Yes. That too, and then also Mystery Men. I don't know.
If he was a mystery. He was a fart guy.
Yeah, he was the fart guy. Yes, and it was hilarious. That movie is so underrated. I love that movie because it's so ridiculous.
You know what movie is underrated is Big Top Pee Wee. That's a great movie. It's hilarious.
In the new one, that's the new one, right? Or are you talking about the old one?
The old one.
No, I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen the new one. That
I
came out.
haven't seen a new one yet. Yeah, but the older one that was called Big Top Pee Wee. That's when he goes in search of his bike that got
Classic.
stolen.
Classic.
Yeah, and he goes, "Tell him Large Marge sent you."
Dude, I don't know, but the opening scene though, when he's got all the crazy gadgets making his breakfast, and
Yeah.
he just has one bite,
Yeah.
and that's it. I'm like, oh, I don't know why that frustrates me. I'm like,
He takes a napkin and then
Yeah.
he goes. Yeah, you're like, all that for one bite?
Comic book Craig movies. You right. He was the Penguin father in Batman
oh yeah,
Returns.
you're right.
Oh, yes, he
Oh,
was. He
yeah.
In
was.
both
Yeah.
Batman Returns and Gotham, he was also in Gotham, and
Oh,
he was
really?
Penguin's dad too. So he
I'm
was.
telling you guys, Pee Wee Herman and Steve Urkel is life to me.
Yeah, but
Okay.
what has Jaleel White done lately though? He hasn't.
He hasn't done.
The Hedgehog.
What?
He sure was Sonic the Hedgehog. You right.
What?
He was the voice. He was
Oh,
the voice.
the voice
Yeah.
of Sonic the Hedgehog. Okay, you're talking about in the cartoon?
In the
In the
90s.
cartoon.
Yeah,
Okay, but I'm talking about now. I'm like, what is?
Oh
Okay.
no, he haven't did nothing.
Yeah,
I think he do plays and stuff. You know.
dude. I mean, yeah, it must be hard though because everybody knows you for that specific role.
Oh, he'll forever be Urkel.
Oh yeah, but the
No.
fact that like a lot of people didn't know, like, oh, that's not what he actually sounds like, and it's funny too because when you watch Family Matters, a lot of people don't know was a spinoff to Perfect Strangers. I don't know if you guys remember the show Perfect Strangers.
Strangers, yes.
And Harriet, and Carl were in that, like wherever.
Right.
Yeah, wherever. I forgot what I know there was Balky, and I forgot what the main dude's name was.
Larry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cousin
yeah.
Larry.
Larry. There
Larry.
you go.
Yeah.
And
Oh my lord!
he worked at some paper.
Balky.
Harriet worked. That's where Harriet
Yeah.
worked. And then there was like you even had Carl show up in one episode, and then they made a spinoff of that. And then it's kind of funny too because when Urkel, his first appearance, he wasn't as nerdy as he eventually got. He was
Yeah.
just kind of nerdy, had a crush on Laura, and then they just fucking ran with it like
And
season.
Urkel,
2.
he was only meant for one episode.
Yes,
but
that's it. He was only
For
there for
one
one, and they brought him
episode.
back, and he took over the fucking show, man. It was
yeah.
crazy how, and then it got ridiculous. After a while, it got a little too ridiculous. Like he went to
Yeah,
school
dude.
and stuff like that. It was like, just got a little too ridiculous. Anyway,
Robot Steve was pretty good though. Remember
Yeah.
Robot Steve?
that was a creepy one. What?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because at the end of the episode he wanted to kill everybody. That was kind of creepy.
Yeah,
Which one are you talking
Yeah.
about, Justin?
Men in Tights podcast. Jaleel White was most recently. There you go.
Oh, okay. So
That's what he's done.
big show.
Hey, yeah, I thought I heard that he was doing hosting gigs. So yeah, there you go. So he's still
Yeah.
working,
Yeah.
but he's still.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm about to say he making so much money off that Urkel money.
Oh,
He
yeah.
don't have to
That
do
Urkel
anything.
money, man. Fucking
Yeah.
A, dude.
And also, I was gonna say it was Pee Wee's Big Adventure, not Big Top Pee Wee. Big Top Pee Wee was the
what threw me
sequel.
off. That's what
Yeah,
threw me
no,
off.
it's
I
Pee
was
Wee's
like,
Big
Yeah,
Adventure.
Big Top Pee Wee is the circus.
That's the circus one. That's the circus
Okay.
one.
There you go. That's what
Pee
threw
Wee's
me
Big
off.
Adventure was the one I was talking about. That one's a classic.
Yeah, we tried to get his bike. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know. Okay. Anybody know where Family Matters is? What streaming service is Family Matters on? Because I would really like to, just like
It's going to be owned by Disney. It's not on
It should be
anymore.
on. It should be on Disney Plus because it was an ABC show.
Right.
Hey, Disney
ABC.
Plus? What the fuck because one of the greatest things about HBO Max was the fact that I was able to watch Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I was loving it because it was like I missed the show. I haven't watched in forever. Not to mention it's also uncut, and some of the jokes on there, woo! I was loving like jokes that were cut off when it was in syndication that are not PC in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and I was absolutely loving that. And I want Family Matters uncut and see what kind of jokes that were even there for that show too.
Do
man.
you guys remember a good time in your life when TGIF came on ABC?
Yeah, TGIF.
I
Yep.
mean, all you had to worry about back then in those days was sleeping, eating, and crapping.
Oh,
That's it.
That's it. Oh yeah, you
That's
had Family Matters, you had Boy Meets
That
World,
order.
you had
In
Step
that
by
order.
Step, you had Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Come on,
Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Oh,
Hanging
yeah.
with Mr. Cooper,
Yeah.
step by step,
Step
day by day.
Fresh
Wasn't
start.
Perfect Stranger supposed to be on HBO Max? I thought I remember.
I don't know.
seeing it.
Hopefully,
Perfect Strangers.
I mean, Boy Meets World. Is
It was
on
a
Boy
great
Meets
show.
World.
Remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Boy Meets World is on Disney
Boy
Plus.
Meets World.
thankfully, which that was
Yeah,
the
I
main
know.
reason why I got Disney Plus was to watch Boy Meets World. And I think one of these days, Justin and I are gonna have a Boy Meets World like fucking podcast. We're just gonna break down every episode. Why the
Are
fuck?
you guys still
Do you
watching
remember-
Fresh Prince
Yes,
right now? Yeah,
I
oh,
still
yeah.
have
Do
yet
you
to finish.
remember when
You haven't finished
every
it yet? I
guy in
would've
the
thought by
world,
now. Did you
I
guys?
was slow on it because I'm on the last season though. Sorry.
Do you guys remember when every dude on planet Earth wanted to be with Topanga?
Oh fuck yeah!
Topanga. Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ. Jeez. Oh yeah, especially when you were young. Oh man.
That's the girl that everybody talked about in school. Like, oh, Topanga, yeah.
Topanga. I was with my boys.
I don't even know what we're talking about, you know?
I said, did you see Topanga last episode? She was banging.
She had that hair, man. She had that long hair, and she was just, yeah. Oh yeah, very much. Yeah, watching that. Yeah, younger days, woo. And then, even she grew up very nicely. I mean,
Dave, I'm gonna tell you what really tripped me out. Though I said, dang, that's Fred Savage, little brother. Oh snap!
Yeah. Yeah, you could kind of see it, like especially when he got older, you know, in the voice drop, you kind of heard it a little bit. Oh yeah, now he sounds like a little bit like his brother. But the reason why I knew, because I love the movie Little Monsters. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, Little Monsters. With Fred Savage and
Fred Savage.
But Ben Savage played his little brother who got kidnapped by the little fucking monster.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But you know what, Dave? Little Monsters, that was like a sick movie because it was supposed to be a kid movie, but the monsters was really scary and creepy.
Yeah, they were scary, creepy. Yeah, no.
In the 90s, the 90s had the best movies because who would have thought about that? A little kid hanging out with creepy, scary monsters. I'm talking about this was like
a whole world under your bed. I mean,
that's the scary thing about it. That is the scary thing, right? So not only did they take the concept of the monster under the bed, but if you go under there, you fall into a portal and go into
that's scary shit.
And it wasn't like it was a very cool place either. It was a kind of a creepy, weird,
bro,
like
was
dark.
Scary.
Well, there was kind of gloomy. Yeah, it was like, what the hell is this?
There was like a spot. There was a spot where it was fun. You could eat junk food and play fucking games and everything. But there was like who was running the place was some scary shit. And then the scary part too was the fact that if you didn't make it back up by sunrise, you were stuck
you were stuck there.
Yeah,
and that's what they're trying to do, right? Like they were trying to get him there to stay there.
When he went to go rescue his little brother, they kept having to like run to like different like places like that were like different time zones to try to make it, and then they ended up in like California and everything like that. But yeah, I mean,
this is the scariest part of the movie of all.
Exactly, showing up in California. Jesus Christ,
my God.
Everybody in the chat, I'm sorry. When I get on streams, I do this. I change the whole subject.
Oh no, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's good. But the thing is,
did Pixar rip off Little Monsters with monsters?
I think a little bit, but they just added the door.
A little bit of inspiration was from that. I want to say
they capitalized. I wouldn't say
they grew up in that time period.
If you remember, light kills or light burns them.
Yes,
so if you have a flashlight, they're like,
And then what was freaky too was Fred Savage's character was started turning into one. Like going down there so frequently that he was starting to turn into one.
I want to watch this movie.
I know. It's a great movie. It's a great movie.
But I'm gonna tell you, Monster Inc. is cute compared to Little Monsters.
Oh yeah.
Little Monsters had some nasty looking creatures on there, man.
Yeah, dude. Seriously, man.
No, but Fatal J is right. There's a lot of '90s kids movies that they were very like considered these days like very violent and not politically correct or anything. But I mean, that's just how it was. You know, one thing that we've talked about before, Fatal J, is that in the original Ninja Turtles movie, they slapped April O'Neil across the face. Like, I was like,
hey, man, when you start talking about turtles.
We only got 13 minutes left.
That's what I'm saying. You know, if you start talking about turtles, Dave, you already know.
Dude, I mean, that's the thing. We could. I mean, the biggest thing was the transition between the first Turtles movie and Secret of the Ooze. Because if we were going to talk about Zack Snyder's Justice League and all the studio fuckery that happens because they want to sell toys and this, that, and this, I mean, look at the first two Ninja Turtles movies, like the different contrast. Because the first one was so dark, it was dark and it was great. It was fantastic that the Secret of the Ooze, they were like, Leonardo cannot use his swords. And he didn't throughout the whole movie. You watch Secret of the Ooze,
they were like just there.
He puts the swords into the ceiling to use them to kick somebody. But he never uses them to fucking fight anybody, really. He uses this,
That's what I'm saying. And then even Tsuya, the bald-headed dude that was like the second in charge. Remember when he kicked the butt out of that foot soldier?
Fuck yeah.
You didn't see none of that in the second Ninja Turtle movie.
Killed the other guy.
Because remember, he got pissed off because Shredder was mad at him. So what he did was kick that foot soldier butt. You know, that was a dark movie, man. That was
It was.
Serious. Yeah. Lives were at stake.
It just have Splinter and then trash their, trash their hideout. And you
they
got,
beat the shit out of Ralph, man. Ralph, he was all, he got man.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was a great scene when he was just like, when he just got down on his knees, he was just like, ah. I'm like, that's
it like spins around in the camera, like,
Yes.
ah.
God, man. I mean, and then you watch Secret of the Ooze, and it's just kind of like
it just went off the rails. Like, okay,
yeah. And then they were like, oh, yeah. Instead of bringing in Bebop and Rocksteady, they decided to just do two, like a Snappaturl and a wolf. And I'm like,
yeah, it was like, what is this?
And then they brought in Ice, which I'll admit, Ninja Rap is a catchy song, but still, it's just
Go Ninja.
Yeah, go Ninja. Yeah, Ninja. Oh man, it's a little too much.
Mo DeGracie, you right. He said never lower your head to an opponent. When he kicked him, he kicked him in his head, bro. He kicked him in his head, man.
Dude, I mean, like the themes in the first Ninja Turtles movie, the fact that Shredder and his organization was bringing in kids and promising them like all this shit.
Yeah, it was like
using them as pawns.
Using human trafficking.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey, I ain't gonna lie. When I watched that movie and saw that little club they was in, that underground club when they was playing video games,
you want to be there?
I said, man, can I be in the foot
Yes.
too?
Somebody fucking rocking a half pipe. They had a half pipe.
Whatever you want.
Yeah, I remember that. The half
You want
pipe.
cigarettes? You want this?
You want
whatever
cigarettes?
You want. Yeah.
Fucking hey, they're smoking cigarettes or eating fucking
Smokers. And I'm talking about they selling each other big cartons of cigarettes.
Yes.
Remember that?
You know what's funny?
Not just a cigarette or a pack, but a carton. Like,
Yeah. Remember, you know who was in that movie?
Smoke it up.
Sam Rockwell was one of the kids in that movie.
Yes,
Remember
he
that?
was.
He was the one
Really?
with the cigarettes. He was the one that's giving the cigarettes.
Yep.
Fucking Sam Rockwell.
He was the one introducing the other. He was the one introducing the other kid to the underground club. He said, "Anything you want, it's
Yeah.
yours."
Yeah,
Exactly.
that was.
He said, "You want to smoke? You can smoke."
Yeah.
And then that final battle with Shredder on the rooftop. I mean, come on. That was like
That's
with
when the movie
one of
was really dark.
one of them taking them on one at a time. I mean, it was just a brutal scene. And then then he like charges when he realizes that Splinter was the rat that scratched his face, and then he charges him with his javelin or whatever, and then falls into the trash compactor, and Casey Jones just like whoops, and just crushes
And
him.
I always look at that. I said, "Casey, you talking about? Oops, you just murdered that dude."
He's like, ah! Oops, let's get out of here.
And that was another thing that was disappointing about Secret of the Ooze is like Casey Jones nowhere to be found.
Gone.
No Casey Jones, and he was fucking awesome. I love Casey Jones in the it was like,
Casey Jones was one of the best.
On enough.
Actually, Casey Jones, to be told, was the best actor on that movie.
Oh yeah, he's been in a lot of movies since then.
Yeah,
I can't even remember what the real actor's name is right now, but
I can't either.
I know he showed up. Yeah, he's been in a lot of TV and movies, and he's played a lot. He's always been a character actor, and I'm sure somebody in the chat will bring up
McLovin. You right? That's what Sam Rockwell said.
Yeah.
He said regular.
Elias Koteas.
Regular or mental? Yeah.
Yeah.
McLovin is right. That's what Sam Rockwell said about the cigarettes. He
Hey,
said regular.
that's him,
or
right?
menthol.
That's him right there, right? Regular or menthol.
Sam Rockwell
Yeah.
with the fucking cartons of cigarettes and all those necklaces with a V-neck. Look at that guy.
All I got to say is Sam Rockwell. You started your.
Jersey Shore is what that is.
Jeez.
I'm just gonna say, Sam Rockwell, you started your career right, bro.
Yeah, there you
was
go.
in the right movie, man.
Jeez. All right. Let's we got about 7 more minutes here. Let's get back to Justice Con and
That's right. That
we veered off
happened.
pretty badly.
I got a question to ask about Justice Con. So this was solely the Nerd Queen's idea, or was this a collective of people?
No, I think it was totally their idea. Like
That's dope.
because they were all planning on going to Comic-Con, all three of them. And since it wasn't happening, so I think they just kind of, conjured it up and just worked it all out. And I mean, they did a phenomenal job, as
they did.
Said, I mean, I totally understand. I think even with like their final thoughts video, Nana even said she's a perfectionist. She's going to go back and see all the mistakes, and nothing's ever going to be perfect. There's other stuff too, and a lot of people were also even saying, are they going to do a Justice Con 2021? That could be something too. And the suggestion that they like people were asking is, try to have, instead of like with each panel just having always like the same host, have, rotate, have different hosts. And they even mentioned like, well, this was like a lot of it was last minute, so they couldn't just just totally get like a bunch of hosts. But I think if they do decide to capitalize on it and do something next year, and Snyder is game and all the people are game, and you could probably even get more cast members, hopefully, maybe, try to do that, try to do it, because I mean, how taxing was it right now? And I think they're even doing the Watchmen watch right now.
Yeah.
Meg is a part of it, and she's probably fucking tired as all hell, because she was like the hub of it all, because she had like the she was kind of like running a lot of the stuff, hosting a lot of the panels.
And I think that will be good that they switch out hosts, because you could tell they were kind of wearing down a little bit, the girls.
Yeah, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
It is. A lot of people say, "Oh, they sitting down." No, that's a lot of work. Interviewing for hours.
A lot of people don't realize, like, even though you're sitting down, but if you're sitting down for a extensive amount of time, it could be taxing. And then, I mean, even like when vodka streams go 3.5 hours, I mean, I'm spent. I'm spent.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why sometimes I'm like, let's just stop. Cut it off, Stop talking.
Yeah. When Dave gets his limit, he's like, "All right, I'm gonna end it now."
Yeah,
I do. I'll just say it. I'm like, I'm ending this now.
Yeah.
So.
No debate. Like, it's over.
Another thing they could do for Justice Con, if they do it again, is you get all the interviews with the actors and whoever from the industry, but you can also have people submit ideas for panels like they do at other conventions or like scientific where one you guys did already was diversity, right? Where you talked about the immigration motif in the movies. Well, other people could come in. You could have somebody who had talked about, the art references in there. The fine art
different perspectives,
right?
Yeah, because that's what we were talking about too. It's like it's not everybody is like, well, maybe they don't look at it as the immigrant story. They look at it as Superman as like a Jesus figure or like a second coming kind of thing. There's different perspectives that they have with these characters, and you can have multiple things like that, and not one is wrong, and you don't have to trash the other, but it's always just like whatever perspective you have, and they should have have
one thing I want to say about the girls, though, I really admire at the final words stream, they was asking for feedback, and I love that. I love that they was humble enough to ask the crowd, because I practice that too. I try to practice that the best I can, is to be humble and listen to the crowd and see what they want to see. Because this is a fan thing. So I'm glad the girls just took that humble route, and they did an awesome job, man. They did an awesome job. This thing is going to grow, and it's going to get bigger. It's huge. This just the test run, but it was a good test run.
Maybe Dave Pena. Maybe Dave Pena will be the host next year. I don't know. I'm just saying.
That was actually brought up in the final word. I'm not going to try to toot my horn, but somebody brought that up.
Hey.
No. But I mean, I think that would actually, it would be better, because I mean, there was at times where it was like you have one guest and 3 hosts. You kind of want to like, maybe you won't want that many hosts for one guest, kind of thing. But if you have like 2 hosts, like when our 2 guests, like Cleanos and his wife, then you could have multiple. And then of course, if it's somebody huge like Zack Snyder, you're gonna want to like, you have everybody. That's perfectly fine. But just that kind of rotation. You just need a good rotation. It's a learning.
With someone like Zack Snyder, might want one host, so it's more of an intimate conversation.
True. And that's one of the things that when it comes to the vodka stream, anytime I have like a featured guest, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do one-on-one for about a half an hour, maybe an hour, and then I'll bring a panel in, and that's what I try to do. Let's not bombard with like a complete panel right at first, one-on-one, and then hey, if you want to stick around, got multiple people that want to talk and everything like that, So we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully, I actually hope they actually do one next year. I really do, because it was a lot of fun this weekend. Definitely.
Justice Con was dope, but they making it seem like this DC fandom is going to be the one.
Oh yeah, it's going to be the one.
This is going to be the one. But then again, they have the ability to say whatever they want to say at DC fandom in terms of like Zach's movie, the projects coming up, and that's something that they have that. Justice Con wasn't going to have, but we had that image, or that clip that he put out, And if you watch his interview, he answered a lot of questions. He gave a lot of details as well.
Yeah. But what's good about this too is like he was able to just say what he wanted to say. I mean, like I said, he went off about the whole, the Whedon footage, and Ray Fisher went off. They're not going to be able to do that at Fandom. Okay,
No,
they're not going to be able to do that.
Not at all.
Candid here.
That's what's so great about it. It's very candid, very raw.
Yeah.
So now when it comes to Fandom, now they just do their shit where they normally do their their normal stuff. But, all right, guys, we got 30
real
seconds.
quick, but before you leave, real quick. I always wondered this. Maybe it's just Fatal J. Maybe it's because I'm overweight. I don't know. But when it seems like these big events, like with the watch party or with Justice Con, does it seem like you tired at the end of it? Like you just exhausted because you be so pumped up? Or is it just me?
Well, no, I think it's because you're on such a high, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
That's what I told Nicotina. This must be what cocaine feel like to be so pumped up.
Yeah. Or you've been
guys.
on all night and you haven't slept, so you just feel exaxhausted, but you're
right,
all
guys.
for it.
Right, we got to wrap it up. These guys have already started. We got the real emotion that are continuing to wrap up, and we got Matt who says he's not comic movie marks for some reason. He's on there and stuff like that. So make sure you head over to these guys right now. They're going to continue the chat. Like I said, Garza was really excited about the Fabian Wagner panel today, and he has a lot to say about that. Like I said, I missed a lot of it because I woke up a little late. You could blame this guy right here. This guy right here. That's
What's that, Seagrams?
No, man. Jameson.
Seagrams. Oh, I thought that was Seagrams.
Anyways, all right, Mr. Chris Juan Swenson, plug yourself.
All right, I'm Chris Juan Swenson from Ping Pong Flicks. You can find me there. That's it.
That's
good.
Justin, go ahead.
I watch Chris every morning.
Hey, I'm Justin. I'm from the Midside. Welcome to the Midside Podcast. Be on the lookout for my based on a true story fiction novel, The Cut, which is based on a story we were all familiar with.
Yes, and then Mr. Fatal J.
My name is Fatal J, and if you want the best content in bow-legged midget strippers, make sure to check out my channel. I'm not going to say that thing that I usually say. I'm going to ride it out to the end of the stream.
Right.
I'm not going to say those 2 words I usually say. Okay.
We won't say it. Okay, Mr. Nicotina, thank you, sir, for setting up all this and scheduling all out. Get some sleep.
I know, right?
Good job.
You can follow me on Twitter at Nicotina_show. And of course, my channel on YouTube, which is the Nicotina Show. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you for everything. And I've met all you guys before, and just working with all you guys and everybody else, it's just been an amazing experience. So thank you for everything that you guys have done. And we'll go from here.
100%. All right.
Good job, bro.
Head over to the Real Emotion live stream. They're going to continue on, and then I guess Lightcast after that. So it's been a lot of fun, guys. I guess we'll talk to you guys later.
Can I say it now?